so close to where you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Boulevard.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Blvd Bullies versus the World, a very, very special edition post AEW Dynamite. You know, guys, it's the 3-year anniversary. I'm joined here by Brian, the Merch Lord, and Ringside Sean in the house, in the building. Guys, it's so good to be back. I feel like it was a year since we last spoke.
It's been a while.
It's only been an extra day, but I felt so empty inside.
I was busy. I was busy.
We're actually watching
these papers here.
We're watching the end of this AEW Dynamite because the stream was set for 10. Little did we know that they were going to run until, what time is it right now? It's 10:11 right now.
Oh.
They're going 15 minutes over for a non-title, non-exciting tag match, feature tag match.
It's a very expensive tag match.
Yeah. What do you think an extra 15 minutes on the network costs? This is cutting into BattleBots time here.
Dude, I love BattleBots.
You love the bots. Well, listen, I think maybe they need to celebrate a birthday, right? I guess that extra 15 minutes is, cake time, I'd say.
This doesn't really feel like a third anniversary show. There are more Ring of Honor people on it than there are AEW people.
Or shout out to Nana, right?
Yo, Prince Nana. Yo, it's been a big night for Friends of the Bullies. Prince Nana ushering in Brian Cage, who is back. It's not his comeback, it's his arrival.
I like to refer to him as Schlack Light.
Schlack Light. He does look like Schlack.
Schlack Light.
Except he's like double Schlack.
If you just knock out his front teeth and give him some tattoos, he'd be Schlack.
I like that. That's hilarious. Schlack Light.
So the match is still going on because, 15 extra minutes.
And, they do their matches like if it was a pay-per-view match.
Oh, my God. Jericho just standing vertical suplex through the timekeeper's table. Floor suplex. Crazy.
With his red pants. He looks like Loverboy. You remember, you know who's Loverboy, right? With the album?
Nope.
I remember the movie.
Look up, when you get the chance, look up Loverboy, the album. That looks like Jericho with his tight red pants.
I'm sure. It sounds like he would.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Rocky Horror Picture Show over here.
I keep like adjusting the sound, so I have to like click away from. There we go. I don't know what they're making me think of Kid Osborne with their red leather pants.
I was thinking that same, but he wears jeans. He wears red jeans.
Yeah, you think Kid Osborne can afford red leather pants, dude? On an indie wrestler salary, dude, it's more like red jeans, yeah. Sammy Guevara is awesome. It's a shame that he's just like a drama. Drama seems to follow him. One of you guys, I forget which one of you sent me the article. Andrade sent home because of scuffle with Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, it's so sad that you're so talented yet so problematic that your name is always brought up in not a good light. It puts a damper on it.
I feel like Andrade they've been talking about Andrade like having beef with like AEW as of late.
I feel like
so
Andrade
like
seems like a cool and reasonable guy to me.
He seems super chill.
Yeah.
I feel like in his personal life, like as a businessman, as just like a guy, I feel like Andrade seems pretty chill.
Right?
And he's awesome. He's like one of the best wrestlers too. He's like insanely talented.
I had a crazy week. I had a crazy week, and the quarterback who I started on Thursday almost died So let me tell you this story. This is so wrestling.
That's
As
so
we
sad.
watch Sammy Guevara, did they just win? Did Jericho and Guevara win?
Yep, they won. Yep, they won.
Was there
The
like
Red Pants
chicanery or
won.
something?
Well, Brian Danielson's on the outside, so there's definitely some chicanery.
All right, let's watch the end. I love that Jake Hager's wearing this bucket hat, by the way. The bucket hat that started the whole feud.
He loves that hat.
Yeah. They think that it's a cool hat.
I wrote down that he's the worst in my notes.
So this is kind of a weird ending. Are you guys watching this right here?
Yeah, he's like, Garcia's like tight now. He doesn't understand. He's very confused.
He's a confused boy, Brian.
He's the Judas in his mind.
Just the Judas in his own mind.
All right, well, there you go. Let's see. I just want to see what comes on next. Oh, it's not BattleBots. It's a movie. Young Sheldon.
Okay. All right.
Turn that off.
All right, whatever.
So that's kind of cool because, they start it with Big Bang and then they end it with Young Sheldon. So it's like, hey, if you're a fan of the Big Bang series and the Big Bang IP, then you test the best for AEW Dynamite.
That's the crowd they're looking for.
Yeah, because if you took the cast of Big Bang Theory and made them wrestlers, they would be in AEW. Just like Sean's Broadway goddamn wrestling show. You know, everybody in wrestling thinks they're in a Broadway show, and everybody in a Broadway show, I mean, they're cool because, I feel like a lot of failed actors and actresses, they get fake teeth and they become wrestlers. So the reason why we're not running on Tuesday, our normal time, 7 to 9, this week and next week, we're doing exclusive AEW reporting. We wrote notes. Show your papers. We got papers. We wrote notes. Because if we're going to be reviewing
There's actually
AEW...
words on these. There's words.
If we're going to be your
Words.
AEW post-game media scrum, well, guess what? We got to write notes, all right? So we're going to get to that a bit later. As always, top 2 best Super Chats receive fun and games and prizes. We're still trying to unload this LA Fights shirt.
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of it. So someone should...
You gotta love the fights. You got your LA Fights pocket logo style tee there. No hit on the back. Beautiful shirt if you're going on a job interview. Isn't that right, Brian?
As I would say.
Perfect for fancy events or job interviews.
Right.
Amazing. And there's something else to be given away, which I don't even know or remember.
Are we going to reveal it now? There's no one watching?
Let's
There's
reveal
3
it.
people.
Three.
There's 3 people watching.
What are those, condoms? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
GCW Spring Break trading cards.
I thought those were Rough Riders.
6. Spring Break 6.
Spring
Part
Break
2.
6. The Siete. The
So is this the Dallas or was this
That's definitely 6. 6 is 6.
Seis is 6?
Siete is 7, bro.
You got that right.
And then Ocho.
You might as well just go to 10, Brian.
Nueve and 10.
boom, nailed it. See, I fucked it up.
SAP, baby.
Yeah,
Gotta love
so
it.
it's the Sace.
There we go.
Yo, anyway. On Thursday, a bird flew in my room.
What?
I had a bird. I was attacked by a bird.
Were you like sleeping when this happened?
Dude, you know what it was? I didn't realize. But like the screen, the window and the screen, the
Right.
screen was like down like 2 inches.
Okay.
Why was the screen down?
Because I don't know. I don't even remember why. I was like cleaning or something.
Climb
or, like,
through the window.
climbing through the window, throwing something out the window. I don't remember why, but anyway. So it was like 2 inches down, and I just popped the window open because it was getting a little muggy. There you go. Hit the mug, and I'm like kind of like watching. I'm watching TV. I'm watching this new Dahmer thing, by the way, which I want to tell you guys about.
I watched the first episode too.
But so I'm like nodding off, and I hear a flapping. I hear like a flapping, like a commotion in the corner, and it's a fucking like sparrow, like a bird, just a common little brown bird.
Was it even a pigeon?
Disease-ridden bird. Those birds have big diseases, dude.
Big diseases, dude. Well, then I am fucked. I mean, I Lysoled everything. But anyway, this
Fucking
thing was like
contagion.
flapping about, right? And then I didn't know what to do, right? And then so it's like, so what I did is I was afraid that it was going to like get out of my like isolated area. So I like shut the door, towels blocking the crevices.
Right.
And then and I basically have I took the pillowcase off my pillow. I was unarmed. I was undermanned and unarmed. So I took the pillowcase off my pillow and I'm like swatting at it. So because the plan is now, okay, I'm going to move over to the windows. I'm going to lower the windows. I'm going to lower both the screens of the windows totally. And I'm just going to try to shoo it out the window.
Right.
I mean, is there a better method? Could you?
If you don't have two people there, I think that's the only method you do have.
I'm just trying to shoo it, you know?
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Opening the windows as wide as possible, then shooing in the direction, just like shooing in any direction to get it out.
Using my pillowcase as a shooing device.
Right.
So that was your shooing. It was more of a ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Not
very
this.
Elden Ring,
Well,
Dark
at one
Souls.
point I held both corners and was going wha, wha. You know, trying to get just a better surface area to flap it away. Because the thing is, because I'm on this side, and the bird is on this side by the windows, but I now have to get over to this side of the room to open the windows and the screens to, you know, try to get this fucking game plan in action, you know?
Right.
So I was afraid that it was going to reverse places with me, fly out into the common areas, you know? So that's why I shoot. I got there, opened the stuff. And the thing is too, it's like trying to find perches. So there are moments where it's just flapping in the corner, can't find somewhere to stand.
Flapping right into the wall.
Just going, boop, 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 boop. And it's I feel bad. I can see it's getting tired. And at one point, it's on the sill. It's on the windowsill. And I'm like, come on, go. This went on for 45 minutes, by the way. This is at the least. So then it's on the sill. So I grab my pillow, now without case. And I go, you know what? I'm going to try to launch my pillow at the area. It's just big enough where it won't fly out the window, but maybe it'll hit the little guy's butt and then just flow him into the night, out into the night.
Give him the idea.
So I try that. That doesn't work. The thing's reflexes are uncanny, you know,
like a cat.
Yo, it's fucking what do you call it? It's metabolism. They're just on another plane of existence.
Yeah, they're like fucking superheroes.
So it reverses the pillow goes flying, it flies out, right? Pillow falls down, desk things get knocked over on the desk now. You know, the desk is now things are getting knocked over because I'm throwing
demolishing your room.
Yeah. So and then it's another 30 minutes, 25, 35, 45 minutes. We're back into the it's resting over here. I try to shoo it over in the direction of the window and it just flies past. It's just it's not hitting the angle. It's flying out that way, but landing a foot above the window, just going burr, 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 and then finding another perch. So anyway, that's basically what I did all Thursday night.
Dude, you had a bird in your
and I eventually flapped it out. I eventually flapped it away. And I eventually just jumped out. And at one point, no, I'm telling you, this is over an hour. At one point, I'm just begging this thing to just fly away. It's just standing on the ledge, and it's no longer, because the thing is, it was looking at me in the eye, the entire time. But now it's butt is facing me because it's about to jump out the window. And I just started begging it. I'm like, please just go. Leave. Just jump. You're free. You want to leave. You want to leave too.
Did it grab anything while it was in your room?
No, but at one point it was sick of looking for a perch, so it was just hopping around the floor.
It's hanging out.
I was throwing little stuff at it, throwing pen caps and stuff that was just in my immediate area.
Oh, you're good, dude. I would have grabbed the pillowcase, put it in, and just
Yo, so then, yeah, my boss, Chris, he's like, oh, no, you just got to throw a sheet over it. Apparently that's what you do when an animal gets involved. You throw a sheet over it.
Yep.
I was
That's
like,
what
oh,
I've
duh.
heard.
Calmly place it outside.
Yeah. So what I know, the method with two people, what you do is you grab like a broomstick, two broomsticks, and then you grab a sheet and you hold the broomstick with the sheet. You stretch the sheet as much as you can, and you get the bird, bat, whatever it is in between, and you push it out the window, or you push it out the door. But again,
that
you go by yourself. So.
That seems just as ridiculous as me shooing it and whipping it, trying to whip the air with the. Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was absolutely.
I'm glad
ridiculous.
you're safe.
Thanks. You know, the last thing I need to do is wake up with like bird eggs in my brain. You know.
Contagion, man. That's a crazy movie. It's about birds.
Thanks for
Bird
watching.
flu.
We're gonna get to this AEW review, Brian. The reason why we had to reschedule is because you had a wedding practice.
Yeah, we practiced the wedding. That's the first time I ever did that.
So what?
Wow.
Tell us about it. Who's getting married? What are your responsibilities? You're in the wedding practice.
I'm in the practice. Yeah, I'm in the wedding.
So you're both in the practice and the wedding. So you're practicing for the wedding.
Right. It's anyone that's at the practice is in the wedding, and that's what it is.
Weddings are
Okay.
like the WrestleMania of
Of
relationships.
relationships.
Yeah.
Right. I would say, but it's only once usually. There's a WrestleMania every year. So
What did you have to practice? Are you the ring bearer?
no, I'm actually walking her down the aisle with my mom.
With your mumsy.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's your sister getting married. You're gonna sandwich her, mom and brother.
Mom and brother. Yeah, mom and bro Sammy.
Now, what was practice like? What did you wear? By the way, did you wear the LA Fight shirt? Because I heard that's good for fancy occasions. I think that would have been a perfect shirt to wear.
I wore a button-down shirt, but I wore my Blvd Bullies shirt under my button-down shirt.
So was that like coming out of the button-down shirt? Did you see the
No, you
Boulevard?
couldn't see it. You couldn't see it.
Okay.
My mom was actually very mad that I wore a shirt under my shirt.
Why'd you wear the shirt,
I
Brian?
mean, it was just rehearsal. Now, did you guys coordinate steps?
It was like a 15-minute thing, dude. It was literally a 15-minute thing. He literally just says, "You're gonna walk here. You're gonna walk here. You wait. You pause. They do it. You wait. You pause. You go, and then you go that way."
Did you do a run through, or was he just telling you what you guys did?
Well, we did. Yeah, we walked. Everyone that's in the wedding was there, and they all stood on the shit. We all walked in. We did the boop boop boop, and then we went to go eat a big fat dinner.
It really is like a WrestleMania of relationships. It's like the night before where they go see the stage, and everyone's just like so happy.
Stage reveal.
Yeah, right. Stage
Walk
reveal.
through.
That's great. That's great, man. Oh, shout out to your sister. Congratulations to her.
Really, it's really all about the rehearsal dinner.
Oh, it was so good.
That's like
What'd
the
you guys
fun
eat?
dinner.
We went to Patricia's.
Nice.
Patricia's of where?
Patricia's of
Staten Island?
Hopog. No,
Hop-
we were in Suffolk. We were deep in the fucking sticks of fucking Smithtown or whatever the fuck we
Smithtown,
were.
Long Island.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was deep. It was deep as fuck.
Patricia's is good. Would you get some calamari?
There was calamari involved. There was fucking meats and noodles.
So that was my next question.
Meats and noodles.
Did you eat meats?
Oh, I ate them. I'm a full
did?
meat boy now. Yeah.
Yeah,
No!
you're fully converted. You broke edge, dude.
I don't even try to hide it anymore. I scream it to the gods that I eat the meats.
I'm convinced it was like one of those nights after the show where we went into Burger King and it was just over from there.
Dude, I think it was the chopped cheese, man.
Yeah.
That shit.
Yeah.
That was like the first time I ate red meat in 7 years, and that like I was like a fucking lion feasting for the first time.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was.
Yo, what's up? If you're in the chat, say hello. It's nice to see you. Thanks for watching on our special time. I know that we haven't really promoted it, but we're going to promote heavily next week
We
for
never promote.
the next week. Yeah, we never really promote, you know.
We are the promotion.
I just feel like I've been a part of the wrestling community for so long that I just feel like asking somebody to watch our show is as dirty as MLJ starting a GoFundMe for his car's mechanic bill.
What happened to his car?
I don't know. Whatever happens to people with shitty cars. It broke down. Fuel pump, catalytic converter, battery.
I'm sure so many people sent him money too.
Yeah. And then did you see he like shamed somebody?
For
What's
what?
up?
So he like called somebody out and shamed them. Do you want me to read you? I'll read you the tweet.
Yeah, did he shame him for like talking shit about him having a thing?
You know
Well,
what?
no.
No, it was like the guy like criticized him for asking for money to get his car repaired.
Right.
And what's his name? Like fucking. Okay, I don't know exactly what the context is. This guy said, "Thank goodness for that sweet $39 discount." I guess that's referring to some kind of like AutoZone discount or something.
Right.
And MLJ says, "Took care of the tax at least. Now what are you going to help with?" And then the guy says something back maybe, and he goes, "I'm just curious since you were so quick with a snarky comment, but it's been over 45 minutes with no reply to my response. If I was a low-level lady wrestler, you'd have started a GoFundMe by now, but you can't even cough up $5 for me? Damn, dude, what a shame." That's the Twitter big man. Fucking,
What a fucking weirdo, dude.
Yeah.
He's tied at a guy for not giving him money.
Yeah. Hello, Logan Stein. How are you? Good to see you. That's Emil Horsecock J from formerly featured on what is it? Late Night Twitter late show or something. Worst ring announcer in wrestling.
That's what gave Akira the title of Cuck of the Week that one time, because he made the GoFundMe for his car. Yeah, he made a GoFundMe for his car.
Yeah, MLJ
That's why we
is
made him a
insufferable,
cuck.
dude. And everybody who's insufferable and fucking weak-willed and paper-thin and fake gangsta, they just wash up on the shores of Twitter. They wash up on the shores of pro wrestling. And you know what? When I watch this show, AEW, I can't help but feel like it's full of people like MLJ who are just soft and weak-willed and struggled to fit in so long for so hard in their life that now that they have a spot, they're very, very agitated and defensive and will defend it with their dying breath. You know, they're like the road ragers of the wrestling community. Just full of road rage, you know?
Kind of sucks. The show, the show tonight sucked. It was like nothing sick happened.
Yo, do you want to get into it? Should we get
Let's get into it. Let's
got
get
our
into
fucking
it.
notes, boys.
We got our notes here.
Bust out the notes. Let's go. Let's get into it. Wait, hold on. Did we talk about everything? Did we talk about the... Look, this is my intro. I wrote an intro. Here's what I got. Bird in the room. Cool. Mm-hmm. Wedding rehearsal. Done. Mm-hmm. Jeffrey Dahmer. All right, 10 seconds on Jeffrey Dahmer. Great show. Brian, what did you think of the first episode?
Dude, it's awesome. Very disturbing. I think so. I'm not really sure where they're going. Is it going to be just like going like a trial now? They're going to go to trial now?
So I watched the entire thing.
Right. I've only watched the first episode.
I finished it last night. Here's a sad fact that I learned because I watched a YouTube video comparing the show to like actually what happened. And that lady, the lady who lived next door,
the neighbor,
didn't even live in the building, dude. She lived in the building across the street from him.
So now the story is just fucking stupid.
You know, washed up.
It's a little sketchy.
Because I looked into the first episode. I didn't see that one, but I saw that the guy that was torturing was like very close to what actually happened. And
if you see photos of the actual building, like the hallway and all like the actual photos, a lot of it's like shot for shot. Yo, and you know what? That kid from American Horror Story, not a bad job.
Dude, he's scary as fuck.
Not a bad job. You know, I didn't like that guy. That guy's like one of the new hot actors, and I'm just like, it's just because, Sammy Guevara and all the weak AEW people, those type of people love American Horror Story.
But he was good in that show, too.
He was okay, but he wasn't like the new hot. He's not like Michael Pitt,
Right. Right.
But, Alec Berg.
But, he's awesome in this because it's not even him. It's just Jeff.
Right.
I love the scene. You haven't gotten to the second episode, so I won't ruin it. First episode's all about, like, his would-be final kill.
Right.
So you see him, like, the first episode, you see him in his final form, basically.
So it goes back and shows how this guy got to that point.
Right, and then basically he gets arrested, and in the second episode, it's a mix of, like, what's happening now with his arrest, and, like, flashbacks to, like, his childhood and then it goes basically progresses forward like that. It's like present day, what's happening with him in prison and his trial and stuff, and then like the flashbacks of like his childhood and his first kill, all things like that. Insane, absolutely fucking insane.
Disturbing.
Very disturbing.
I definitely like the first episode.
Dude, I find I'm not like a big serial killer fan, but I do find there is an element that I find very interesting, like but just it's like the culture, how it affects culture, how culture maybe could have created somebody like this maybe.
Dude, serial killers are like so fucked and interesting to me too.
Nature versus nurture, but then like
they're fucked up.
And then
I feel like serial killers from back then all felt like they had to one up each other.
Right.
And it was like, wow, this guy did this way, then I could do it that.
And you could make a case that the reason why they all started doing their thing in like the 60s, 70s, and 80s is because TV. Because now like the news is like covering them. So now they're like writing letters.
Right,
it's like they want like the media coverage. And that's so crazy. At one point later in Dahmer, like much later, one of the later episodes, he's like in prison and he's watching TV about John Wayne Gacy. And he starts talking to a priest, and he's like, John Wayne Gacy says that like he's gonna go to heaven because he confessed his sins, and like I never thought I'd go to heaven, like, so like what's the deal? How come he gets to go to heaven? Like, why do you think there are so many people like us now? And the fucking priest goes like, well, studies have shown that it's maybe the advent of the interstate highway system. Which is crazy, right? Think about it, right? Like TV just started existing in the 60s. Then all of a sudden, like there are interstate highways. You could murder somebody and drive 1,000 miles, dump their body. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then, and the guy says also, and like porn. There wasn't any porn in like the 50s. So it's like the three things he says is the interstate, dudes coming home from World War II and Vietnam all fucked up. And like that, like porn is like all available. And and he didn't say this, but I'll add in definitely the media.
Of course.
Yo, and it's just so interesting. Like the kid, and it's so crazy, like in episode 2, spoiler alert, fucking Dahmer, as a kid, little Jeff with his little glasses, a fucking cute kid, right? He's like into like animals, right? He's like into like dead animals. So the dad just thinks like, oh, he's a fucking weird kid. Like, hey, check out this possum that died in the garage. Like, here's how you dissect roadkill. Like, he didn't know that he was teaching him about fucking eating brains and shit. You know what I mean? Like, and that's another thing with psychiatry and shit. You don't know. Like, back then, they didn't know shit. Yeah. So it's like, oh, he's just interested in, like, dead, weird things. Okay, I'm gonna help him. I'm gonna teach him. It's fucking weird, dude. Crazy show. Bro. Great show. Very, very thought-provoking. Very well done. Not the best. Not an A++. Not an S-tier show. But, like, an enjoyable watch. An interesting watch.
It's cool to see the times then and where they stood there as like a certain standards with things and how they approach things and where we are now and how things haven't changed, but they have in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's wild, bro. It's definitely wild.
Oh, super interesting. Jesse Jackson makes an appearance because, it's all about like, it's like, hey, Jeffrey Dahmer's killing like poor gay black dudes, like how come the police ignored? And then so so they get into that. Right. It's like, oh, how come like in this neighborhood you guys don't care, you don't believe us, so it's very like applicable today. Super fucking interesting, kind of well done, kind of very well done, and yeah. The only thing it proves is that like back then they thought they knew everything, and then you're like watching something like this and you're like, oh my god, like holy shit, they didn't know anything about like depression or fucking like mental health or fucking the effects of like things on people and fucking shit like that. And then it just kind of proves like, oh, we think we know now, but like 50 years from now we ain't gonna know shit. We're like stupid,
We know more now.
We know more than then.
You get like medication. If they had like medication now, they might those people might not have killed people because they would have been medicated.
Super good. Have you guys ever watched Mindhunters?
No. What is that?
Mindhunters is on Netflix.
What is Mindhunters?
It's like a same thing as Dahmer. It's like a fictional documentary. Not a fictional documentary. It's like a historical fiction of basically like the dude in the FBI who figured out like that serial killers should be like evaluated psychologically.
Studied, like right.
So like the guy's like kind of a weird morbid guy. and he goes to the FBI and he's like, oh, we should fucking interview Charles Manson and like find out like what makes these dudes do what they do.
So this actually happened, and it's a series based on it.
It's a two seasons, and the FBI at first is like, "What are you talking about? Like those dudes are just crazy dudes."
Right.
You know, they're like, and he's like, "Nah, like we could establish like patterns and shit, and like understand like what happened." And it's very very interesting, very very interesting.
Yeah.
Into that.
All right, I'm sorry. That was my serial killer Netflix diatribe. Yo, Owen Hart, Heart of Gold behind you, Sean. Have you watched that?
I have. Quite the DVD, my man.
Yo,
you know what's crazy? Good. It's so hard to find. I found it in this store called Book Off in the city by Radio City Music Hall. Little hole in the wall spot. They have a store that's open in Japan, and the New York spot is in the city, and they just finally opened one in Brooklyn. Long story short, I found this in a bin for $3. Didn't see it ever. Took it home. Best $3 I ever spent. Looked on eBay. About like a $50 DVD. Blu-ray.
$3. Wow.
Can't beat that.
Dope.
I got that as a birthday gift.
You did?
Yeah.
Whoever got it loved you. That's
Yo,
a great
you know what's
gift.
a great part of the DVD is the bonus scenes, like disc 2,
Yep.
where they're all like telling stories about him and shit.
Yep. Great matches in it too, man. So if you've never watched it, I definitely suggest it. I think it is on the WWE Network as well, but if you could grab the Blu-ray, it has more matches and more double features than what they have on the network.
Yeah, and they're all telling stories about like Owen's pranks and like little pranks he did.
Oh
in the
my
ring.
God,
Did you see
man.
the one
best
where they're
shit.
talking about Owen reacting to Ultimate Warrior's music?
No, I didn't see it. Well,
Dude.
recite me through that.
Oh man, because I never have met anybody else who's watched this DVD, let alone like the bonus disc.
Did you see the one where they're talking about the pizza and he's calling Davey Boy's room and he's saying he's Domino's? And he's like,
yeah,
I got this deal for you, and it's this price, and they told me to call you. And he just starts messing with them and stuff. And there's another story where he starts messing with Fuji, and he tells Fuji to meet him downstairs. And Fuji's walking around the hotel lobby in a kimono, and everybody just sees him walking back and forth, waiting for a kid. And they're like, "Yo, that's Owen ripping you, dude." It's
so good.
Guy
Yeah.
was gold, man.
All the
Literally
prank
heart of
stories.
gold.
There's just this one part. I forget who's talking. It's like a real quick part. It's just a talking head. And it's like back in the early Raw days, like 95, 96, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's Owen Hart and Jim Cornette, actually. And I think they're in the ring. Man, I got to look it up. Stay tuned to the Twitter. I'll find this clip and post it. Follow us on Twitter. But it's like somebody's telling a story, and it's like one of my favorite Owen Hart. I think it might be. The story might be told by fucking Justin Roberts, actually. Because it's right around the Justin Roberts era. And basically, it's like Owen Hart and Jim Cornette or whoever the fuck are cutting a promo. And, Ultimate Warrior's music hits. And the guy goes, it was just the little things that Owen did. Like his face that one time when the Ultimate Warrior's music hit. And I'm not going to try. I'm going to try. It's like, I don't know. It's just like basically the best surprised face. Very, very funny. I don't know. Look it up. Owen Hart, Heart of Gold. Great DVD. Great DVD. All right, let's jump into this AEW. Bren says, after watching AEW, I feel like I had my head drilled and filled with dumb Taz commentary.
Oh my God.
That's great. I love that Dahmer reference. As opposed to filled with formaldehyde, he was trying to create living zombies.
It's disgusting.
So dope. Yo, but it's true, and you watch this doc, and what's awesome? They're gonna follow up this series with like the Dahmer tapes. You know how on Netflix they have the Bundy tapes.
I think that drops this week.
Yeah, it's on like Friday or something, which I'm locked in for. I'm locked in for that. I don't like the Ted Bundy tapes. Ted Bundy isn't cool to me. Ted Bundy's just a piece of shit. He just hated women and like smashed their faces in like
He's
violently.
insane,
Terrible,
insane
bullshit. And Son of Sam, Zodiac. Okay, yeah, they might be a little interesting, a little sexy, but they really just shot people with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
They just shot people. That's not like that crazy. And John Wayne Gacy, yeah, he probably dressed like a clown. Did he dress like a clown when he was killing the guys? I don't know. But either way, he was kind of a bitch too because, like they show
It was
in
children, wasn't it? Children.
What was like? It was like young men and children. Yeah.
Teenagers and stuff.
And you know, he sucked because it was like all like a, I don't know. None of them. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm coming off Dahmer. Like, I don't know. He just loves science, you know. He just loved science. So I'm excited because I don't want to watch these. I don't want to listen to like 10 hours of Ted Bundy or John Wayne Gacy tapes. You know, the Unabomber tapes I listened to. I thought it was pretty interesting. Crazy fucking insane guy. Dahmer, same thing. I think I'm ready to listen to it. You know, who knows? Who knows? Anyway, get your papers out. Get your papers out. By the way, also on this paper, remind you, top 2 super chats get the LA Fight shirt, the GCW cards. We're also, at the end of the show, going to talk about GCW Japan, which, Brian, you were completely locked in for.
It was awesome.
You were locked in for that. A lot of Effie ass, I feel like.
Dude, Effie crushed it, dude.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about it later. I want to hear about your takeaways, and we'll do the giveaways. Sean, great fleece, by the way.
Thank you. Hole in one, baby.
Why don't you start us off with the start of the 2 hours and 15-minute 3-year anniversary live from Washington, D.C. episode of Dynamite. Go ahead. Let's get these papers, dude. We took notes. Guys, we all took notes because how can you be a good wrestling wrap-up show without taking notes?
Can't be a journalist without taking notes.
Journalists take notes. Look at this. Look, all three of you, both of you, and me, all three of us. Look at the camera right in the eye. That's it. That's all. We're journalists. All right, start us off, Sean. Let's go.
Well, let's start you guys off. I napped until 8:27.
You napped.
I napped, and I woke up. I was like, "Whoa, I'm missing Dynamite."
All right, wait a second. Stop right there. You come back at the 8:27. Exactly at 8:27, you're going to come back. Brian, start us off. Opening moments of Dynamite. Go off your notes. Just riff at us. Give us the first segment.
My first note is that I like how they go right into the match and there's no promos. I like that. But I also noticed that the theme song sounded very low.
Who's fighting?
It's MJF. MJF comes out first, and it's against Wheeler Yuta.
Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah, it's basically like, hello everyone and welcome. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means. Everybody, welcome to Dynamite. We have a great night.
Right.
Which hyped
My
me
favorite
up.
theme song. My favorite theme song
Best
in
theme
AEW.
song, except for besides Daniel Bryan's theme song. That's the best theme song. And yeah, and you know what? Start the show off with MJF wrestling. Great. And I was actually thinking to myself, man, MJF hasn't wrestled in like 6 months. And then to Excalibur's credit, because I have a lot of notes here that just say like I just like was watching. Trying to be smart, trying to be analytical, write notes, and I would just write, Excalibur sucks. Or like, fuck Excalibur. Or like, shut up. I have plenty of notes here that say shut up. But to his credit, 129 days since MJF last wrestled. I didn't look up what event that was, but I guess it was the last one was CM Punk.
Yep. Sounds about right, yeah.
No, was it not Wardlow?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh,
I guess, yeah,
Wardlow,
he did Wardlow.
on Dynamite, yes.
He lost. He got crushed.
He got crushed. Yeah, they opened the show with him.
Yo, Brian, I want you to take it back, but you know what else I wrote too? And
what?
and the fucking Wardlow match made me think of it again. So I'm gonna step on the lead here. Fucking MJF's moveset is so dope. Like the way that he does offense and defense.
His transitions are great.
Like the stepping on the toe. You know, he did the arm whip into the corner. Mm-hmm. He's got like a lot of, even his like signature moves have something to do with the ropes or have something to do with like an underhanded tactic. And I thought about that too. The last time I thought about that is when he fought Wardlow. Like the way he got out of the ring, the way he was like running away from Wardlow and like selling. MJF is the best guy they have by far.
100%.
And that's probably even before CM Punk was going to leave. I think MJF was better than CM Punk when CM Punk was there too.
Mm-hmm.
Agree. 100%.
He's a well-rounded wrestler.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome.
He knows it too.
Yeah, and he knows it, and he's great. You know, it's just like, dude, he found like his window. Because like a lot of people have greatness potential. But once again,
there's a lot of good wrestlers, but there's not a lot of good wrestlers that could work from pillar to post.
Yo, and,
you know what I'm saying?
And like, there aren't a lot of wrestlers who can appeal to everybody. Like Wheeler Yuta's great, but Wheeler Yuta is just like a regular wrestler, and like MJF is literally a once in a generation. Like and you know, it's just like Dahmer, dude. Just the right sequence of fucking things need to happen for that particular person to be great. I think about that all the time while watching sports or baseball or something, you know? It's like all these guys are the best athletes. They're like the best. Like if you were playing them in beer league softball, they'd score 35 runs, you know, on their own. And like, you know, so you boo a baseball player like, oh, this guy sucks. But it's like, yo, this guy's still the best athlete, like fucking ever. And sometimes it just matters about like what team you're on and what coach you have and who your teammates are to really become like that elite person. And then you know what the thing is, your window's open, you got to dive through that window. Once you dive through that window and get that confidence, you're never looking back. You're just now great. You know, a lot of guys, you know, you just miss the window. That's a hard window to hit. And I think MJF has hit his window, and I just think he's just fucking great now, dude. I just think he is fucking great. And it was a reunion. Wheeler Yuta, Bryce Rensburg, and MJF. It was like some Drew Cordero Beyond Wrestling shit.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Bryce Rensburg was the referee?
Yes.
Yep.
I thought that guy sucked. Honestly.
What made you think he sucked?
I don't, just his like hand movements where I was like watching the referee more than I was watching the match at some points, just because he was like flailing his arms around.
He
was
is
like
like a very male. He comes from the Aubrey Edwards school of refereeing.
Dude, and I love when they were doing the roll up shit. He kept doing the roll up shit, and he just like kept counting one. Like he didn't have to count.
Dude, I wrote down sunset flip thing. Very stupid.
Oh my God, the roll-ups looked it just looked silly because the ref kept hopping around counting one.
Every wrestler, everybody wants to do the RVD Jerry Lynn pinning combo.
Yeah,
and nobody could do it. Everybody thinks they're in Mortal Kombat, dude, but they're fucking not.
It's funny.
They're in Brian, what's that Disney game?
Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah. Everybody here thinks that they're in Mortal Kombat, but they're really in Kingdom Hearts.
I love Kingdom Hearts.
Well, I'm just saying it doesn't have the best choreography.
I love Kingdom Hearts.
What else?
But dude, it's funny, but dude, they actually did the roll-up shit in the fucking Darby Allin and Jay Lethal match.
They did it the very next match, too.
Very next match.
I thought it came off better because of the referee in that match. He didn't like count.
I think that I just hated them both because I witnessed the RVD Jerry Lynn one.
That's a match. That's unrecreatable shit.
Is it just that we're fucking old fucks though?
No, those are elite. Those were elite fucking dudes. Jerry Lynn and Rob Van Dam.
You've just seen the original people to do it. So when you've seen horrible imitations and recreations of something that shouldn't be done, it's like. It's not
that it shouldn't be done, but it's like they weren't recreating something when Jerry Lynn and Rob Van Dam did it. Right. They were creating it. That was their art, and now people now are just recreating their art.
I can't believe that they did it in back-to-back matches, dude.
Stupid.
So now I have two questions for the both of you guys. One of those questions being that Jerry Lynn is in the back. Do you think Jerry Lynn has anything to do with the way these matches are booked, the way some of these moves are thrown off? And secondly, the second question is, being that it was followed up in the Jay Lethal and Darby Allin match, do you think the workers explain, hey, this is going down in this match, please make sure you don't use my moves? Because it happens a lot.
I'm gonna say this. I think that Jerry Lynn is in the same boat as somebody who we're going to talk about later, Billy Gunn. I think that originally in the first few years or whatever you want to say, the first year and a half, first 2 years even, I think Billy Gunn and Jerry Lynn are back there beating their heads into a wall, telling these guys, yo, slow down, this and that, don't do this, don't do that, try this, try that. Nobody's listening to him. And I think Billy Gunn got so frustrated that he eventually just was like, fuck it, I'm just going to manage the Acclaim and make money. Fuck it. I'll just be a performer. I can't do this coaching shit. Fuck Luchasaurus. And Jerry Lynn, unfortunately, he's not in as great health as fucking Billy Gunn.
Right.
Because, listen, I'll go to my deathbed with more Jerry Lynn matches in my heart than I will Billy Gunn, but their bodies show the difference, right? And
Right.
Jerry Lynn can't just sell out. Like, Jerry Lynn's just there to be a coach. He's just the coach. So Jerry Lynn, I think, I don't even know if he even cares enough anymore to say something like that. And you know what? Maybe Jerry Lynn, maybe he's just a nice guy. Maybe he's like, oh, you're going to do that? I'm so honored. But to answer your next question, I think that in an indie wrestling show, and I've seen it at a few different places, mainly NYWC, everyone goes around and says their finish.
Mm-hmm.
There's a huge locker room meeting, and everyone goes around and says their finish. And they're like anything that may or may not be, like whatever, like overlapping stuff is talked out and kind of changed right there on the fly, right? Now, it is possible in that setting that, you're all saying you're finished, so maybe like match 1 and match 2, they're not going to say, hey, we're doing a pinning roll-up. You're just saying you're finished in that situation, so I don't know. Maybe that could slip through cracks in an environment like that. But I have a feeling that AEW, it's all separate rooms. It's like Jerry Lynn goes with whoever and does their thing. Dean Malenko goes with whoever and does their thing. And I think it's all separate rooms. And I think it's probably so seat of the pants. It seems that way because of what we've been watching for 3 years. I think it's so seat of the pants that there's no like big talk or big meeting.
No.
They're using the same moves and they're saying the same shit.
Yo, and furthermore, I don't even think that Tony Khan, when he writes the book, when he fucking pencils and eraser shit, I get the impression that he doesn't even write the finishes into his storylines, which, I'm not a wrestling writer or an expert, but I would say that some of the, maybe like an opening match or just a get shit over Wardlow match, maybe you don't have to write the finish, but for something that's in the storyline, in the episodic week-to-week storyline, I feel like you should write the finish.
Right.
And I can't really say that I get the impression that he does that.
No,
so
I don't think so either.
I think it's easy that 2 matches, and you see it all the time, 2 matches, end in a roll-up surprise, or like both matches have, and you can't even say it about forearm to forearm because they do that in every match. So that's just like a new thing. But I mean, pinning combo, it's like, come on, dude, come on. Brian, run me through real quick the rest of your notes for the first match, MJF versus.
They teased MJF face turn.
Oh, at the end.
He was gonna shake Wheeler Yuta's hand and then he got tied at fucking.
Sean, did you wake up in time for this?
I know. I literally woke up when Jay Lethal was on his way out to the ring.
All right, well then forget it. Me and Brian are gonna bring it home with this MJF thing. I think that was so stupid, dude. So basically, the way it ended, Sean, and we're gonna break it down for you here.
Yeah,
is
please.
That MJF beat Wheeler Yuta. I think he tapped him out with the arm bar.
Right. Yes.
Right.
He flipped over. He made it tighter and he flipped over. It was kind of sick.
Yeah. So he tapped him out. All match, MJF was looking for the arm and Wheeler Yuta was looking for whatever, and so he finally got the arm, right? Whatever. Wheeler Yuta wants to shake his hand after the match. Long time they're pacing back and forth. MJF, he might shake his hand. Now, I thought right here that MJF was going to go to do it, shake his hand, and then just kick him in the balls or something. I think that would have been great.
Yeah.
But instead what happens is that before MJF could shake the hand, Lee Moriarty jumps in, wearing a Selena shirt.
From Target?
Yeah, like a Target Selena shirt. Jumps in, hits motherfucking Wheeler Yuta. Now, it all of a sudden got so complicated right off the bat. So now, Lee Moriarty, Selena shirt, hits Wheeler Yuta in the back. Then all of a sudden you see Stokely Hathaway, who's eating an apple.
Eating the
there's
apple.
just too much stuff going on. He's eating an apple, and he hands MJF the ring. And MJF's like, nah, man, what? And MJF right away, no, I didn't tell you to do that. I didn't say to do that. Which is so fucking lame, dude. MJF he just became Satan.
Right. He's supposed to be a fucking terrible man.
He just became Satan. Did you see the sign? MJF with the pentagram?
Maybe they're trying to do like the devil on the shoulder, Angel on the other shoulder thing right now with MJF, where he doesn't know which way he wants to go. Because there's still a little
they're gonna ruin it because it's like the Daniel Garcia treatment. They took Daniel Garcia from like a hard-nosed kid who looked like he'd fuck you up to like a kid who's like, I don't know who I am anymore. So they're doing.
Do
They shouldn't have done it with MJF. The end of this should have been he shook Wheeler Yuta's hand and kicked him in the balls. But instead, what happened is Lee Moriarty hit him. MJF's like, I didn't tell you to do that. I didn't tell you to do that. Now cut to Stokely Hathaway. He's eating an apple. Take the ring. Punch him with the ring. Max, I don't want to do that. Stokely Hathaway, throw the apple. You do it. So now MJF's like Wardlow. MJF's being told to like hit the guy with the ring. And he's like, all right. He puts the ring on and he's going to fucking hit him. But then, fucking, what's his name? William Regal gets up from beyond commentary and then goes back to the villain and puts the brass knuckles on. Says, hey, if you do that, I'm coming in. And then they get in face to face. MJF, William Regal, brass knuckles versus ring. So like a million things happened, basically.
And then Moriarty and fucking Stokely just leave.
Yeah, they vanished.
They just vanished, dude. It makes absolutely no sense.
That was so stupid
stuff.
And it's
Dumbest shit
and
I've
then
ever seen.
MJF appears later on the show holding the chip.
Watching the Hangman Page match.
And so it's like he's in two different storylines that don't connect to each other. He's the Wardlow of Stokely Hathaway, but then he's also like a Money in the Bank, except it's not a Money in the Bank. It's just a chip that they arbitrarily said. Hold on, I'm going to read you the rest of my shits. Yeah, I just wrote too much. This is weird. Oh, also, when Wheeler Yuta finally, Wheeler Yuta was teasing the flying headbutt or the splash off the top. He went up to the top like 2 or 3 times. Max just rolls away.
Right,
and then Wheeler Yuta finally hit it. And Excalibur, I don't know what the fuck he said, but he used the word hypotenuse, which I thought was funny enough to write down. And it's like, oh, well, this time he calculated the hypotenuse.
I hated that spot because MJF rolled out of the way and had time to give him the finger, and he was like halfway across the ring, but didn't have time to like roll out of the way. He was like watching him fall onto him. He was like, oh no.
Right, but that had something to do with the hypotenuse, dude. I wrote it down. It's right here in the notes. All right, so that's the end. And then the next thing, before we get to Sean breaking down when he woke up, this is what I wrote for number 2. I numbered them. Just the things I saw, 1, 2. Number 2, Jericho cringe package. Jericho cringe promo. Jake wearing bucket hat. Jericho's chest looks like E.T.'s chest. That's all I
wrote.
It totally does, dude.
And Brian, in the group text, you sent a photo. You used iPhone Draw.
I did it.
Oh, you did it. Sean did it. Yeah, you made like a face on Jericho's chest.
Yeah.
Definitely E.T.
It looks insane, bro. He looks like he's melting.
Yeah.
Right,
I mean, credit to him. He did drop like 25, 30 pounds.
No, he lost it in his chest too, though. It's like just like withering away.
That mass is gone. There's like no bone there. It's insane.
Hey, quick thunder round, lightning round question. Sean, you first. Bren says, dude, MJF is jacked. Definitely juice. Think he's on the juice?
He's on the juice. Listen.
What about you, Brian?
I don't think he's on the juice.
I think
he's on the juice.
Sean, tell us why.
He's on the juice. Listen, in a company like that where you could do what you want, say what you want, walk in as you want, who's to say that they can't walk onto a camera and look exactly how they want to look? There's an image you have to keep up with. It sells. And if
he doesn't look extra jacked, though.
Oh,
dude, he's a short guy. He's not big, bro.
But he doesn't have like bulging shit. He doesn't have like shit.
He looks
Brian
like
Cage looks like he's on juice.
He looks like a Marvel toy, bro.
He's not as vascular. He's not as vascular as some of the other supplement-taking people.
I think that's a sign of usage of that kind of juice is the bulging veins. But he doesn't have bulging veins.
Well, we can't see those bulging veins because we're not there. All I see is a physique that was not once there.
Boy works out.
Hard work.
Plus the juice. Got him feeling loose.
I don't think he's gotten much bigger. He's gotten like, I don't know. I say no. I say no to this question.
All right. So basically, after the Jericho ET chest looks like his chest promo, you got for no reason, and I don't know. Have I not been following? I watch it every week, but it's Darby Allin versus Jay Lethal for apparently no reason.
No reason at all.
Jay Lethal comes out and the screen says, "Let's get lethal."
Yep. Let's get lethal.
They can't come up with anything else.
Let's get lethal, baby. Lethal.
Go ahead, Sean. Sean,
So
you
I
woke
wake
up
up.
at 8:27.
8:27. I wake up. I'm feeding for some pizza, pepperonis, and green peppers on top, and I'm waiting for that bad boy. All I know is that Darby Allin and Jay Lethal are going at it, right? So I looked at him and I said, why are this guy's shorts so small all the time? And I said, this is Darby Daisy Dukes Allen going head to head with Jay Lethal. I then said, Jay Lethal needs some gold. It's been quite some time. The guy showed back in Nashville, Tennessee, that he can hold up and sell a good story. Why not put some gold on Jay Lethal? What do you think, Brian?
I mean, I do. I like the match. I think both of them are dope. I like that Sting wasn't there,
Yes.
and also
Sting was sleeping probably. He probably didn't wake up.
Did you notice
Little
that
nap.
they ended the match in the same exact way as the prior match, and they
Yes.
also did a Jay Lethal face turn.
But that's what I was about to get to right now. So we need a Jay Lethal Gold following Sanjay number 2 pencil Dutt and Jay Lethal
You
breakup.
don't know that's a number 2. You have no proof that that's a number 2.
Have you ever seen a number 1 pencil? Because I have it.
All right, fair enough.
So he comes out with his pencil, and I'm like, he's clearly mad at let's get Lethal Jay Lethal, right? So then after that,
lethal. Let's get lethal. Let's get lethal. Let's get lethal.
That reminds me of a Burger King commercial. Let's get down. Let's get
Brian
down.
loves going to Burger King and eating everything on the menu that's not the Impossible Burger.
Yep.
Spicy chicken sandwiches.
Yeah, dude, you love that.
This guy's in
and
a
then,
huge relapse.
what's the guy's name with the big plaid jacket?
Sanjay Dutt. No, wait.
Nah, the big dude that he's with.
I don't fucking know, dude. Come on, I don't even have it here in my notes.
Dude, that guy had a big plaid jacket. And the next thing you know, match is over. Darby Allin wins. And then Prince Nana cuts a promo, and I pop. Because then he goes, we in the money. Do, 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 do. We in the money. Do, 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 do. And that was that match for me. Following that is Wardlow.
Whoa, wait. Whoa. Don't you want to hear my notes?
I'm not going into it. I'm not going into it.
You just skip. Because
you skipped a lot. You skipped a lot.
You jumped like 3 segments. You jumped 2 commercial pictures, dude.
What? From the match?
So let's get Lethal versus Darby Allin. This is what I wrote, okay? Darby Allin wearing potato sack, laying on his face, thinking about Priscilla Kelly, definitely going through it. And I realized that Darby Allin, his whole life is defined by just losing Priscilla Kelly, man.
How do you lose her?
I don't know, probably by being a creep, I would assume. It's the word on the street. So, Priscilla Kelly. Darby Allin's butt is shrinking. Gigi Dolan's butt is growing. And Darby Allin, he's constantly swimming against the tide. He's like, you know what? I'm going to do a backflip on a tricycle with Travis Pastrana. Maybe Gigi Dolan will like the video. Guess what, bro? She didn't. So there's no amount of love from Sting or gothy behavior or laying on your face. I looked away for a second. I looked back. I thought he tripped. He was just laying face down on his face. Anyway, so hearts, thoughts and prayers to Darby, man. He had it. He fucked it all up. And yeah, and then and then that's where I wrote "Shut Up, Excalibur." I wrote more shit it's like an A24 horror movie, dude. You have one thing for 5/6 of the film, and then in the last 1/6, the shit goes completely off the rails. So once again, Sanjay comes out, distraction. Darby and Jay, what does he hit him with? What's it called? The Widowmaker pin. So stupid. He has like some lame pin. What's it called? Mother's Day.
He crosses his legs and flips over and pins him.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's like
weird.
It's like if Mr. Perfect worked at Hot Topic and invented the Perfect Plex. that would be exactly what Darby had. It's called like Mother's Day sombrero or something like that.
This is Mother's Day funeral.
Yeah, and then basically everything all the time happens after the match. Brian, you want to walk us through what happened after the match?
They made the Lethal face turn.
Yeah, Darby Allin told him.
How do you feel about that handshake?
Yo, did you see Sean? Lethal did Mega Powers in a minute.
He did. He went.
Yeah.
Dude, but it was literally the same exact ending as the prior match.
But he actually shook the hand this time.
Right,
Right.
he shook the he
Right.
shook. Well, they were doing the shaking of the hand after every match tonight. Did you notice that?
Every single match had something going on afterwards. Yeah.
Well, it was mostly like a shaking of the hand. Everyone was shaking hand. Is that a Ring of Honor thing?
It's the code of honor.
I heard them say the code of honor, and then
Multiple
literally
times,
everybody
yeah.
was shaking hands.
Dude, for the
very
3rd year
strange.
anniversary of AEW, it was very Ring of Honor-ish.
They
Yes.
should have just called it Ring of Honor.
Ring of Jericho.
Ring of Jericho. Number 8. So what happened after that?
Sean, you were so hot to talk about Wardlow versus Brian Cage. We saw
Yeah, man.
our boy Prince Nana.
I popped for him. That's so dope, man.
Dude, great
I'm
promo.
so happy for him.
I got hype when I see Prince Nana.
I was a little
So-
upset that he didn't call Brian Cage the crown jewel of the embassy.
He
He's
didn't call him the crown jewel.
of the embassy.
Because every time an Outlaw comes out, whoever he's managing, he calls the crown jewel of the embassy.
Right.
Which I love.
Currently, it's Alpha Junior. All right.
Yeah, currently it's Alpha Jr. Last month it was Mike Verna.
Yep.
The month before it was somebody else. It's always the crown jewel.
My crown jewel. So, match starts. They're both in the ring. Jibbs tells me Wardlow sucks. Hobbs is better, but that title is dope. And I looked at him and said, Jibbs, I agree, but Hobbs is horrible. What do you think? Do you like Wardlow? Is Hobbs better?
Wardlow
title look
versus
better than
Hobbs.
Hobbs?
Brian.
I think I like Wardlow more than I like Hobbs.
Yeah?
I like the Powerbomb Symphony.
You do. I don't like Hobbs. I'm not over on Wardlow yet. I see where they're going, but I don't get it. And why is Brian Cage no longer the flippy Brian Cage?
He was doing he did the Hurricane Rana shit.
Yo, I gotta say that I'm not really a big fan of Wardlow or Brian Cage, but that match was kind of awesome, dude. Might
It
be
was.
my
Kept
match
up.
of the night. Because, it's like you're watching it and maybe it's not as like smooth or whatever, but then you realize, yo, both these guys like 300-pound dudes.
Dude,
They're big
huge.
dudes.
Yeah.
They're big dudes.
And Brian Cage to do the fucking suplex gimmick
Oh,
was
so
fucking
good.
insane, dude.
Yeah,
so
man.
good.
His moveset is by far one of the most, I want to say, remarkable movesets because it's like, wow, this guy can do that, but he's also lifting like
You
crazy.
saw Wardlow do the crazy fucking jump to the top rope and he did the flip.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
does
but-
some crazy shit too, Wardlow.
Yeah, they're awesome.
These big guys are different from this era.
Yo, Brian
So-
Cage, that suplex made my lower back ache.
Dude,
I
he
was
took
sitting
4
there
power
like,
bombs
ah.
after doing that.
Yeah, dude. He's giving me Psycho Sid vibes. But before that, Brian Cage hit a sit down Alabama Slam. Do you guys know what
Oh, I
an
saw
Alabama
that.
Slam is?
Yo, that was so
How
dope.
wild was that?
Yep, I
I've
saw
never in my life seen anything like that.
Yeah, that was
that
great.
was pretty dope.
It was
Good
great.
shit.
Wardlow's much bigger than him.
I'm
know what I'm saying?
I'm not really a big fan of Brian Cage. I think that Prince Nana and Brian Cage doesn't really make any sense. It's just another weird faction in AEW, but it's also Ring of Honor. So it's like
Yeah.
so fucking weird. But at the end of the day, I love seeing Prince Nana on my screen. And I love, Sean, you said at the end, what does he say?
Money, do, the money, do.
Dude, the other guys he was with were dope too. The Gates of Agony.
Gates of
Oh.
Agony.
The
That
gates of
dude-
agony.
That name just made me. Just the name makes me pop because it's like some death metal shit.
Have you guys ever noticed how some of the cooler moves happen during the picture-in-picture?
Dude, I wrote that down during the picture-in-picture fucking.
Why do they do that? Is that a way to keep you watching?
Dude,
Yo,
Because
I
Brian
hate
on
Cage-
picture in
commercial?
picture, dude.
He
It makes
curled,
the show
he
seem so
curled
longer.
fucking Wardlow.
He curled them. Like I was like, why is this on picture-in-picture and not during the actual match?
Yeah, it makes the commercial. It makes it seem like there are more commercials. I feel like if you did
There's a
commercials in
picture. There's a
between,
picture-in-picture during every single match.
Yeah, there is. Which brings me to this: do they know that they're on commercial? Because I saw Brian Cage speaking to Wardlow, pretty like, "Hey, this is what you got to do when you get to that corner there." And I'm
well,
like,
that
do these
happened
guys
in the
know that they're
that
on
happened in
commercial
the
break?
MJF match too. When both guys were down, Wheeler and MJF just turned his head, was just talking right at him. They did the overhead shot, and you could just see he was just talking right to him. So it's like, but there are streams that you can watch it. I'm not going to mention their names.
Yeah.
But if you go back, if you're not watching it live like we are, because, we're fucking journalists. But if you go back and watch it on like some other sites, let's say you don't have cable, whatever, then, the picture in picture. You'll hear him go like picture in picture, but then they'll keep calling it. You know, like they'll keep calling it for like I guess I don't know. Highlight purposes or like maybe different like time zones or whatever.
Right.
I wrote into my notes for this match that the camera angles that they show, like they cut to certain things at certain times that like they show the wrestlers talking to each other and calling the match.
It's very Kevin Dunnish.
And never used to, like back in the day, it used to never happen, I feel like. Is that because they're not like talking about the match before it's happening and they have to like talk about it while it's happening?
I think it's because they put those cameras on the turnbuckle posts. Those cameras weren't always there. I think the closer you get to the ring with a camera, the more you're gonna, run into a situation like that where you could see them communicating.
I feel like it happens in WWE too, though. I feel like I see more. I see that
they're prone for their horrible camera angles.
I guess, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That never used to. I guess the camera angles have changed.
like I don't think that the director in the truck is wise to when the wrestlers will be talking to each other, and maybe even. Every so often, maybe a specific circumstance, maybe a Chris Jericho or somebody will walk into the truck and be like, hey, after this, let me write this down for you. After this thing happens, I'm going to be doing this. Make sure the camera is not on me. I mean, if I was doing that in my match, I would probably say, like, when I'm going to go cut myself. But I think that with AEW, because that's how it happens so much, where they've cut directly to a guy blading himself, that I just think it's like, I actually watched a behind-the-scenes video of, like, the Mets guy. So, think about, like, a fucking sports broadcast. The guy hits a home run, and the guy's sitting there, like, camera 9, cut to 9. It's like a crowd shot. Oh, now it's like the guy rounding third. Okay, 3, ready, 3, cut to 3. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And the guy does, like, 10 shots in, like, a minute. Like, more than that, even. You know what I mean? Like, 4 seconds. Okay, cut, take, cut. And it's like, and you think about a broadcast, like a football game. Okay, slow motion, go, replay, boom. It's like crazy, right? Yeah. So I think they have somebody that level of talent back there. But think about it, in real sports, you don't have to fucking worry about cutting accidentally like to the guys talking to each other.
Well, in the end, it's the wrestler's fault because they should be aware that there's just cameras everywhere.
Right, and you should be airtight. Yeah, you should not.
Right.
Yeah, your shit, like, and listen, if you're in an empty arena match or a fucking COVID era, whatever, okay, then it could be cut around, whatever. But, that's done. So everything you do, blading, fucking talking, anything, should be, like, airtight, no matter what camera angle they cut to.
100% agree.
So I put it more on the wrestlers than the director.
Yeah, I agree.
Back to the match. Did you guys see Wardlow's whisper in the wind?
No, I didn't.
That's what I was when he jumped on the rope and flipped and did the flippy, right?
Bro, he did the Jeff Hardy run up the rope and he did the whisper in the wind.
Yep.
One of Jeff Hardy's staple moves. I was like, how is this big guy doing this right now?
Do you think that Wardlow is cooler than fucking Goldberg? Because they're trying to make him Goldberg, and Bren says that Wardlow is literally becoming Bork Laser.
Bork Laser?
But he's not as good as Brock. Well, I think it's, in my opinion, just to answer you, Bren, before I throw it to the lads, I think that Wardlow is cool. He's definitely got a bright future, but he's definitely not as good as fucking Brock, obviously. And he's definitely not as good as Goldberg. And you know what? He's not as good at Brock. Brock is the best, like, recently. But Wardlow at 25 is not as good as Brock at 25. Just for the sheer lore. Like, Brock was like an actual fucking real sports demon.
Yeah. Freak of nature.
Yeah, he's
Goldberg's
just Brock
Lesnar's
a one of one. Yeah, Goldberg's a cunt, but you know what? The Goldberg shit was natural. Like,
but he was written for him.
It's the same.
Brock Lesnar was an actual beast athlete.
It's the same
Goldberg
thing.
Is a Jew.
I want to hear what you have to say, Brian. Please, Brian. We've had 3 weeks of being in the yellow because of your comments. But
it's a bad one. That's
it's just like the Jerry Lynn RVD pinning combination. It's like, okay, that was the best. Even if you want to redo it as Darby Allin versus whoever the fuck and do like, you're doing it much better theoretically, but it's not much better.
Right.
It's too much. The original was the best. So it's like Goldberg, even though that was all written and contrived, it was still the first time that somebody was just a fucking face, squash, match beast, 157-0. And, you know, the Goldberg chants were not piped in originally. Originally, those really happened. You know, like, so the Wardlow, the fact that and, you know, he's no longer chained.
Wardlow.
He's Wardlow unchained now, but they still show him walking from the back for a minute, you know?
The gorilla cast.
Anybody could have been Goldberg, though.
No,
yeah,
dude.
but
Goldberg
you know what?
didn't do
No,
shit.
Wardlow
Dude,
couldn't
no.
have been Goldberg.
Spear jackhammer, dude.
Nah,
Or jackknife.
Listen, man.
Goldberg
Terrible.
was the right place right there. You remember the window I was talking about?
That was that window.
Goldberg hit that window, dude.
Yeah,
for
He
sure.
was given the window, though.
He was given the opportunity.
Everyone's
He
given
created
the window, dude. Everyone's given the window.
But he had the perfect. That's like being given Kane. Like being given. It's like you're given the perfect character.
No, but that's ridiculous
it's
because
like your character's already. It's like built to
No
perfection
way.
for you.
No, it's not,
dude,
dude. Look
Undertaker wasn't over till Mark made it over. Kane wasn't over until Kane made it over. Goldberg
Kane was
wasn't
instantly over. That
No,
whole
but-
thing, he was like instantly over, dude.
Yeah, but his mannerisms and the way that he committed to it, like, you know, made it sustainable. It's the same thing. Yo, AEW has all these surprises all the time. Then what happens? Nothing.
Nothing happens,
Yo,
dude.
Kane rode his surprise, dude, for years. But Paige, I've already gotten sick of.
Yeah, dude, I'm tired of her already.
Because
It's
that was
like,
the thing that was after Wardlow versus Cage. Which, by the way, just to put a button on it, Wardlow versus Cage, guess what? First two matches ended in some post-script type of fucking after credits thing. So did this. Fucking
FTR?
Yeah, Sanjay, exactly. Sanjay and the big guy came out, and then FTR's music hit. FTR, biggest pop of the night, by the way.
So the thing is now, call out your boss on an indie show.
Did
just
you
so
see
can
that?
Get back on the show.
I was just going to bring that up.
I was like, wow, that's what you got to do to get your booking back up. I'm gonna call my boss out.
Brian,
Get me
did you
on
hear
the
about
show.
this?
Yeah, they said to book him.
They said, hey, Tony Khan, we still work
Hey,
for you.
brother.
Just book us, brother.
Book us, brother.
Yeah. And then, you know, they got the biggest pop of the night, but once again, still doesn't hit as hard because they're the fucking ROH champions. It's just weird. It's just weird.
Code of
Look
honor.
at this. I just want to say a hot take. I think that the top two things that ruined AEW were Cody leaving and him getting involved in ROH. And did you hear he had a comment that he says, oh, well, I bought ROH because WWE was also interested as well. But the thing is, yo, dude, WWE, they would have paid for it and
They
just
want
put
the
it.
tapes.
They would have put it on the network.
Yeah,
that's all
it.
they would have done. They wouldn't have fucking revitalized it or thought there was a TV deal to come out of it. They just would have put it on the network and just owned the tapes, right?
This is something that happened with Impact before. When Impact was on the chopping block and there was talks about selling the company, they just wanted it for the tapes.
Right.
They didn't want to revitalize it. They didn't want to rebrand it. This guy, he has this competitive approach towards everything.
Misguided.
Yeah,
It's a
bad.
misguided competitive approach. And he went in all in on the Ring of Honor company. And, you know, whatever. Maybe it's a drop in the bucket for him. Maybe it's not that much money, whatever. But it's confusing the show. So the Cody leaving plus the ROH confusion, I think that the ROH more than Cody even. The ROH stuff is really going to be the downfall. It really is.
And it showed it tonight as they based their 3rd-year anniversary show off of the majority of Ring of Honor feuds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Horrible move, AEW.
Yeah, because at the end of Wardlow Gage, fucking, Cage, not Gage, but you know what I mean. Fucking FTR came out, Samoa Joe came out. It's like a whole thing. So, and that's weird too, because the Embassy, if the Embassy is going to fight Wardlow, FTR,
the Pinnacle,
and Samoa, then they're actually missing a guy. Because they
Chairman.
just have the Gates of Hell and Brian Cage. They're missing a dude.
Well, maybe they'll bring this. Maybe this will bring the bring back of Shawn Spears.
Finally, dude.
All right, the Pinnacle. Very Ring of Honor team.
So this is
The
my
Pinnacle.
the next thing was my favorite thing.
Your
It
girl
was the
Jamie.
revenge of last week's worst segment. Coming back, we're doubling down, we're double dipping.
The Chippy.
Dude, Paige's promo last week, we didn't talk about it because, we recorded Tuesday, and now it's the following Wednesday. We didn't talk about Paige's promo. Really bad.
Whose house was it?
It's not a good.
It's everybody's goddamn house.
It's everybody's house.
Everybody's house. It could be Swerve's.
Could be Paige. Saraya, excuse me. Apologies.
Dude.
Your girl Jamie Hayter's over.
Dude, I couldn't even pay attention to the match because of her goddamn butt.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It looks like Rey Mysterio's mask.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Rey Mysterio's. It's like, am I staring at a butt or Rey Mysterio's face?
Yeah, it's like, what is going on?
Did you write that in your notes?
No, dude, I just, all the time I see it, I'm like, hey, what's up, Rey?
Hold on, let me read you this. All right, number 5, revenge of last week's worst segment. 6-woman match. Shout out Willow. Woo, shout out. Good girl. Yo, good job, girl. Willow's getting the Paige pixie dust.
She needs the pixie ducks because Athena has the fucking crazy wings.
Those wings are the worst.
Did you see how the guy came up to take them off?
She has somebody. I didn't. I was looking away. She has somebody remove them for her.
So
he ran out.
He ran out. They didn't move the camera off of him in time, and he's like taking off her Spider-Man claws, like her Doc Ock claws, and it was wild.
Those are so bad.
Yeah, her Dr. Octopus claws.
I want to think about her just walking through like the airport wearing them.
She's ready for Comic-Con.
Yo, shout out to fucking Penelope Ford as well. Who's dope? An old friend of the Bullies.
Why is she still super bad though?
Well, I mean, dude, the Kip Sabian experiment was a failure and a disaster.
Dumbest shit ever.
Suffice to say, unlike your Owen Hart DVD Blu-ray, we're not going to be seeing 50 years from now, 30 years from now, a Kip Sabian Blu-ray going for hundreds of dollars, unless he decides to fall from the rafters and die.
We're in the yellow.
Which, obviously, as Penelope Ford, friend of the Bullies, we hope does not happen to Kip Sabian.
Dude, I don't even think that he'd get one if he did.
So I wrote down that Sharon Page just looks like a young Sharon Osbourne.
Wow.
And by the way, it was a 6-woman tag match.
Yep.
They had 8 entrances. There were 8 different entrances to start this match.
Paige got an entrance.
But you know what was awesome?
She's not even wrestling.
Willow got the pin, so that's awesome.
That was all. She was awesome too.
And then, I honestly, dude, if I had to do my least valuable player, it's got to be Saraya. She is so lame. She is so awkward. And you know what? She's no more awkward than William Regal, but everyone loves William Regal, so he gets a pass. But she is the shit. Her on commentary last week was a fucking abysmal. I am the revolution. Come on. Yeah, and she got physical and threw the weakest kick. The shittiest shit. Physical, What's up with all these ladies wearing like baggy pants now? Anyway, you guys, take it away. Tell me about this match. 6-woman tag. Jamie Hayter, her butt looks like Rey Mysterio's face. Go.
Ember Moon is so boring. Oh, my God. I mean, Athena.
All right, Brian, you read your notes. We're going to note for note here.
All I wrote was 2 notes in that. I wrote Willow is dope and that Paige can apparently wrestle.
I don't think she can wrestle yet. I don't think she's cleared. I don't even think
she took punches. You can't.
No,
take
they
punches
did a then she threw a kick. Sean, what's the rest of your notes?
Serena Deeb looks like she works at Beach Bum. Tony Storm's ass just broke Sabrina's jaw. What the hell kind of cutter was that? Good for you, Willow. Paige got physical. I mean, Saraya. That was it.
Yeah,
that
put
was it.
Saraya weak kick to Rebel. Something always happens at the end of these matches.
And my last one was gotta love the hater. You gotta love her.
Yeah, gotta love Jamie. Jamie Hayter's the most over out of all of them.
Yeah.
The Britt Baker thing, whatever's happening. Britt Baker's feuding with Paige, but Paige doesn't look like she's gonna wrestle. Tony Storm's the champ. There's not really a new number 1 contender. And this match had the same problem that the next segment has, is that after the belt is won, I believe that there's a small window to go for the rematch.
Mm-hmm.
If the feud dictates a rematch, which oftentimes it does not. Because if you have a successful title defense, then maybe there's a rematch. But after a successful title win, maybe you defend it again the next night, on the next Wednesday, the next Monday night. But then it's over. We're on to the next challenger. When I see new champions, I like seeing new contenders.
Hey, Brian.
To be the man. Yo, before Chris Benoit was on that screen.
Yep.
By the way, best super chat wins the LA Fights shirt. All you got to do is pledge $1 super chat.
Down below. Yeah,
We got papers. We reviewed the show.
So following that whole thing, I just heard Tony say, "Scissor me, Taz."
Oh, so here's what I was saying. Is that once a big title change comes about, I like to see the new champion move on to maybe fight and defend against a new program, a new contender. You know, there's a small window to wrap up what happened before. Now we move on.
Like a story mode.
Tony Storm is suffering from the same thing that Acclaimed are suffering from, which is that they're still in the storyline with the old people. There's no new challenger.
No,
so this
isn't.
fucking Acclaimed National Scissor Day shit, I know that I'm going to be in the minority with my opinions and my notes on it, but at the end of the day, I just think it was a prime opportunity for somebody new to come out and challenge them. But instead, at the end, you had Swerve challenge them. Which one of you wants to take it? A show of hands. Just tag yourself in.
Ryan, you want to go? Go ahead, baby.
All
You ready to go? Okay. Tony, scissor me, Taz. Billy Gunn does not love his kids at all. He's on TV with a belly shirt with the Acclaimed. Where are his boys?
I noticed that he went back to the belly shirt. He must be really feeling it to go back to the belly shirt.
Mm-hmm. And then my next one was Ayo. I thought the hands on Billy Gunn's shirt were a sub sandwich. To the millions and millions. Sounds familiar.
The millions and millions.
Do you think it's okay to do that?
No, I don't think, especially if you're Billy Gunn.
It bothered me.
It bothered me too. I thought that was really fucking lame.
I was like, why would you do that, dude? Like, it brought
plus,
me back to when
he's
he was
from
getting his
the
ass
same
beat by The
era.
Rock.
I'm sorry. He's from the same era and has his own catchphrase from that era.
I was like, where are you going with this? Like, do you not, like, I felt like he caught himself going the DX route and remember the 25th anniversary was this Monday and didn't want Triple H to, like, really dig him a hole the last time. You know what I'm saying? So I was
he's
like,
not invited. He can't be invited to the 25th.
But he's not. So that's why I'm like in my head. He doesn't want Triple H to get on camera, on the mic and say, where's the other missing guy? Oh, you mean him? He's on the, you know what I'm saying, show? And
Yeah,
really
he
just,
fell
like,
off a
bury
cliff.
him. He's dead.
He's scissoring people.
You think he said it because he's tight he wasn't invited to the DX reunion?
No, but I think that if he was tight about not getting invited to the DX reunion, just like every ex-WWE guy buries them, I feel like he would have had free reign to be like, you know, there's a certain thing coming up, but this is more important than that thing. So to his credit, he didn't go there.
Right.
He knew better.
But he didn't know better than to not do millions and millions. But I think, once again, for Billy Gunn specifically, losing all hope is freedom. I think that Billy Gunn, in his heart, is more of a cornetter. I feel like Billy Gunn, like, kind of hates what's going on in his heart. Mm-hmm. But he's just like, fuck it.
Like what we said earlier, he's just at this point, you know what? I'll entertain instead of coach.
Yo, I'm going to entertain. I'm going to tie this T-shirt up. And did you see they had the podium? They tried to recreate the DX, like, State of the Nation as well.
State of the Nation, yeah.
Which they fucking sucked at.
They bombed. It was horrible. That was just a horrible
really
segment.
Did you hear Tony Schiavone said it's like being at mass when they were all scissoring? He said it's like being at mass.
He was
like
all
scissoring.
Peace amongst yourselves, please scissor each other.
Right, and then somebody was like, Excalibur was like, oh, non-denominational.
Right,
and then Max Caster was like, oh, we're gonna do a bipartisan scissor.
I thought that.
And then I wrote, the only thing that's bi here is Max Caster.
He's not bi, bro.
Yes, he is, dude.
I thought he's a gay man.
Oh, whatever. All right. Whatever.
Oh, Bowen.
I thought that back in Creative Pro, he dated Chris Statlander.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, so then maybe once he started working for Rick Cataldo, you know, he flip-flopped. You know, those Matter of Pride shows are great shows.
Was tonight the first time they actually did the scissoring leg drop move? Did you notice they did that? Max Caster and Billy Gunn held his legs open, and he dropped the leg, and he did it in between the legs as a scissor.
That was their first trio move.
That was the first scissoring move.
Yo, there
dude.
were
I
a
thought
lot
that was
of
great.
fake scissors in the crowd. A lot of
Yeah,
aluminum
dude.
foil got wasted this evening on these scissors.
Oh yeah.
Yo, it
I
really
also
is
saw
the
a
new
man
suck it.
ringside. I
I'm
also
sorry.
saw a man ringside pick his nose and then go and scissor a bunch of people next to him.
Hmm.
Gotta love those. You gotta love it.
I feel
wrestling
like
show.
if you were to ask Billy Gunn who he thinks is responsible for the popularity of the Acclaimed, he would look you right in the eyes and say himself.
Did you hear what he said? Whose house is this? This is Daddy Ass's house.
Right, so there's
And then
now
it became his house.
3 different
Everybody's
homes.
house. Yep, that was my third. The Everybody's house.
And did you see like
Put your
yeah,
shoes up.
they tried to make it like I feel like they tried to make it like mean something. They saw like this country's never been more divided. And I feel like they really both of them sat down and thought like this is it, man. This is it. This State of the Union National Scissor Day promo is going to be career defining. And I think that they really tried to cover all the bases, about how, like, we live in a bipartisan. My dad won the World Series with the Washington Redskins. And then he wears that ring all over. And I wear these.
They booed him for that, didn't
Everybody
they?
was so confused. They were like, where are you even going with this?
Yo, and then
They're not the Redskins anymore. They're the Commanders.
So look, they're the Commanders, all right.
Oh, that's why they booed. Is that why they booed?
Probably.
So I wrote.
My favorite part was paper covers rock, pal.
Oh my God. Okay, so that's the next thing I was gonna say. The next thing I was gonna say is that they are using I wrote this. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. So I wrote like every single scissor joke possible. So they had don't run with the scissors because you got to think about it. I'm here writing these notes. So I'm trying to write a scissor joke. I'm sitting here trying to write a scissor joke. So what goes through my head? Rock, paper, scissor, running with scissors. I'm trying to think of a good scissor joke to write on these notes here. And lo and behold, they did it all. It's like, oh, he was running with the scissors. And then Swerve, literally, he just had a rock. He had a rock in his pocket. He was just holding a rock. I also wrote down, does anybody still wear grills?
Dude, he's so awkward.
I don't like him.
Me neither. It's just so fake.
Yeah, and like by the time it was already too long, and then by the time that Swerve came out, I was like, wow, I can't believe this is gonna go for another 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah, listen, that was a whole waste of 20 minutes.
And then paper covers rock, and just get the fuck out of my face. Just the worst. There's some red and there's some blue, but we wear pink, and everybody looks good in pink.
Listen, man.
Crowd loves him. Crowd absolutely loves him.
I don't. I'm not a fan. I'll be honest. I'm really not a fan. I think it's a horrible. I said it before. I think it's a poor man's attempt at D-Generation X. And tonight was another clear example as to why they can't be original and be themselves. They have to have.
Well, they kind of also.
Billy Gunn.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but they kind of tried to make it not a suck it, and they tried to make scissoring a positive thing with your friend.
Yeah, turn to your left and your right and scissor the person. And, peace be with you and also with you.
It's not suck it. It's be my friend and scissor me.
But that's equivalent to a too sweet.
Yeah, the scissor is the new too sweet.
Right. I would say it's more of a too sweet than a suck it.
Yo, I gotta be honest though.
Be honest with us.
Talk to me.
Oh my God, how do I say this without dropping a hard R?
Woo-hoo.
Wrestling fans are extremely odd. And we've read and we've seen one of the things in the news is that AEW's ticket sales are dwindling. Really? That makes sense because they have a very small, little fan base.
Niche
fan
base.
How many of these people are going to travel? It's like a status thing to go to these things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a status symbol to go to these events. How much could you do that? And I'm just saying, just like the people who argue for AEW and against WWE or for WWE or against AEW. Those people are weird, man. And those people are the same people who are fucking interacting with MLJ on Twitter. And those are the same people who are fucking scissoring each other.
Yep.
The same people who are too sweeting each other. You know?
That's you, papi. That's not me, papa. Hey, yo no haga eso. I don't do that, papa.
Hold on, I lost my place in these notes.
Look at those beautiful notes there.
All right, final thoughts on acclaimed National Scissor Day celebration.
Horrible attempt. Instead of doing that, they should have had Caster go out there and do 16 bars of rapping.
Yeah, right. Like that dude could do 16.
He could write something, man. Listen.
Yeah, right.
Horrible attempt at DX, click, whatever you want to call it. Not working for me. I'm not a fan.
Brian?
I thought it was funny. I like him.
I got Character Productions. What's up? Good to see you, dude. Max Caster, GOAT. Bren, they're definitely trying to make the acclaimed into DX. Yeah, I think a little too much, but hey, whatever. Hey, the crowd loves him. The crowd fucking loves him. Next up, Hangman Page versus Roosh.
You skipped the funny promo. You skipped the Sky Blue and then Tay Conti.
Oh
promo.
wow, I did watch that and I didn't even write that down. Go ahead, Brian,
Dude,
take it away.
All I wrote down is what Tay Conti said, and it's sports entertainers always beats pro wrestlers. And I thought that was very funny.
Nailed it.
Entertainers.
Sports entertainers always beats pro wrestlers.
Madison Rayne and Sky Blue versus Tay Conti and Anna J. Duh. Anna Jade. Who cares? She sucks. They all suck.
They all suck.
Hangman versus Roosh. Speaking of suck, don't care. Don't give a shit. It was at this point in the show that I was very confused about what was happening in the future. Like, is Adam Page fighting Moxley next week? At one point, Excalibur said, 2 weeks from today. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 weeks from last week. And it was like, what's happening?
2 weeks
But
from
then
last
later
week.
on, Moxley and Page said 14 days.
They said 10/18. It's the 18th.
So they're doing one more show, and then
In
Moxley's
Cleveland,
going
right?
to defend. You know what? Listen, I think that they might have John Moxley lose to MJF, cash in Cincinnati. They might go that WWE route, have the man lose in his home goddamn town.
I like that. And then come back in his hometown.
No, I think that makes sense. Do you think that Moxley's going to lose to Gage?
No. Yeah, maybe.
I'm going to be honest. They moved the show from inside to outside. I think that there's going to be a lot of explosives, and I think this is going to be Gage riding off into the sunset.
I was thinking, but I'm also thinking that Moxley's actually going to go on the vacation that he was like going to go on. But
Moxley's
you think he can
doing
go
2 more weeks. He's going to Cincinnati. He's dropping the belt at Cincinnati. But did you see? Actually, sorry to keep going here, but did you hear that Excalibur during this match, during Hangman versus Roosh, he said, "Hey, Hangman versus Moxley 2 weeks from now, if MJF doesn't cash in his chip." So it's like he kind of put it out there like, oh, listen, I think at the very least, and Brian, I didn't even think about this while watching, but yeah, Moxley's supposed to be on vacation. So 2 weeks from now to lose in Cincinnati, that sounds perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
To
not
Hangman.
gonna, and there's no way it's going to be.
No,
Hangman.
I think it's going to be MJF.
Either it'll be to whoever wins that match will lose to MJF. And it makes more sense if Moxley's going on vacation and
have
CM
him
Punk's
win.
never going to come back and you know whatever. It makes more sense for Hangman to beat Moxley and MJF to cash in on him.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you know what? It'll be dope if they're smart, they'll do that all in one night.
Yeah, in Cincy 2 weeks from now, Moxley gets murdered, rides off into the sunset, goes on vacation with Renee. MJF's the champ. He rolls with it. 2 segments a show. Hangman Page goes into depression. You don't see him for a little bit.
So do you onto this weekend? Sorry to jump into this weekend,
Jesus
but do you
Christ.
guys think that he's gonna actually lose? You think he's really doing this vacation
No,
thing?
I think that
I think that he can. Sorry, Pat. You go.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
All right, I'm gonna go. I think Moxley could still win the GCW championship and go on vacation with it.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
they don't,
agree.
like-
I agree.
They don't really give a shit. I feel like he's had it and hasn't really defended it that much, but when he does, it's important. So
It's been a
they'll let him
while,
go
though.
on vacation. It's been a while, yeah.
Well, ask
You know what I'm
yourself this
saying?
question. Is Nick Gage going to retire?
Looks like it. He doesn't look well, if you ask me.
I don't know. He's working out all the time, and Ric
And
Flair
he looks
inspired
like a
him.
round fucking truck tire.
Would he have waited so long for a comeback just to come back and retire?
But that's the thing, though. A lot of guys want to go off on their own terms. Maybe this is that term. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, yeah. If you were watching an episodic TV show, it wouldn't make any sense that Nick Gage would be off the show for weeks and weeks, then come back just to retire. But it's not an episodic TV show. It's nothing that high intelligence. It's indie wrestling. Maybe Nick Gage has been hurt for months and months, knows that he don't even have anything left, and he's going to retire. So it's like, hey, just give me one more match and I'll retire.
Yeah.
Like that could be entirely possible.
It's just so much weighing on both sides right now, especially with Moxley, as you said, supposed to be on vacation, grab the reins, grab the title, and now he's carrying into this storyline while also carrying another storyline.
Yeah, but
so
I
it's,
think
it's heavy, you know?
I think that Moxley's vacation that is due to him has everything to do with what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks in AEW, but I think that Moxley's vacation has absolutely no bearing on what could happen between him and Gage. I think that Gage and what he wants to do is the deciding factor of what happens in that Moxley match. But I think in AEW, what Moxley is owed as a vacation has everything to do with Hangman or MJF walking out of Cincinnati with the title.
It's going to be a fun 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Let me see what else I have for Hangman Roosh. I said good match, Private Party sucks, Mox comes out, MJF has to walk around with this big-ass chip. Anything else?
Did you see they bleeped shit? That it was the first time I ever heard them.
Well,
bleep
no,
shit.
they bleeped shit last week as well.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah,
because
I didn't notice that.
Paige said Britt Baker rhymes. Shit Baker.
It's the dumbest thing to say.
Well, I mean, it's not untrue.
It is true.
Then we go back to the back stage, and Tony Schiavone has a live interview with Willow, and I just wrote down, well, Willow's going to be attacked.
Willow's going to be attacked.
But she wasn't attacked. She was just confronted.
She was verbally attacked.
She was confronted.
Ooh.
My friend from high school is there too.
Layla Gray, there you go. That's her name.
Who's your friend from high school?
Even bad?
What'd you say?
Sean, what? What?
His friend from high school is Layla Gray, and then I followed up with, are they even bad?
Oh, Layla Gray is very bad.
I mean, I don't think that any of them are great.
Oh, we're talking about wrestling? Oh, they're all terrible. They're all absolutely terrible, except for Willow Nightingale, girl.
Love Willow.
Peace and love. Thoughts and prayers. You know what? And Jade Cargill's good. She's all right.
She's
As a wrestler, I think she's a better talker than she is a wrestler.
She's such a WWE chick, and she doesn't even know it.
She's an idiot. All right, up next, Luchasaurus. Oh man, you know what? And I look forward to this every week because Luchasaurus, Christian Cage, Jungle Boy suck. They suck. All three of them fucking suck, dude. Way too long. Long-term storytelling or long storytelling. And now Christian Cage, he's valeting Luchasaurus to the ring. Luchasaurus, they literally just stole Cade's music. It's
Even with the lights.
Here's what happened. Tony Khan has a music guy, right? He's got a producer. But this producer never watched wrestling in his life. Never in his entire life. So Tony Khan went to this guy or girl, his producer, and said, hey, this is Kane's music. I want you to make a song exactly like this, but don't make it obvious. But because the person that he asked is not a wrestling person, they were just like, oh, okay. Lucha Kane minus the anti-abortion speech. Well, yeah, I mean,
that's a shame.
Who knows where dinosaurs lie on the political spectrum? But you know, thankfully, the segment or two before was the National Scissor Day, and they completely broke the walls down, and bipartisanness is now just like fucking omnipartisanness, thankfully. You know? So whether you're Kane or Undertaker, Republican, Democrat, red or blue, two became one because of the Acclaimed. Yep. All right. So Kane's music, Luchasaurus' music, Kane, Luchasaurus, Paul Bearer, Christian Cage, same. All the same now. Same. One entity.
Yep.
My one and only note from that match, or it was not a match. It was just a promo.
More of a promo confrontation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that Luchasaurus? All right. It was Luchasaurus versus the Mini Lucha.
Fuego del Sol.
And then it was the Luchasaurus is much cooler as the Canosaurus.
Oh wow! See, I didn't even realize that there was a match.
Yeah.
He crushed the little mini.
Jungle Boy sucks.
Yeah. Why aren't you a Jungle Man?
Well, you know, Jungle Boy, they're calling him, they're starting to transition him into Jack Perry.
Jack Perry, yeah.
But, like, you know, conspicuous by his absence, Jim Ross, the creator, the originator of Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
It's Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And I'm sure he wasn't supposed to be saying Jack Perry, but it's just like he knows the kid being this guy's son, so he's like, Jack Perry.
Yeah, he knew. Jungle Boy Jack Perry. No, but in that regard, Jim Ross was the man because he knew. He said on the Conrad podcast, he was like, yo, dude, this guy can't be Jungle Boy forever. He's already a man. He's already a grown man, so we got to have to start thinking about what's going to happen next. And you know what? Jim Ross was on it. And now Jim Ross not on the show, off the show.
Hope he's doing all right, man.
Jungle Boy sucks. And then Jungle Boy had like a very emotional, drawn out fucking promo to Luchasaurus. You were my best friend. You betrayed me. You broke my heart. I'm going to break your fingers.
Leg.
I'm going to break your nose.
Do dinos have noses?
And his hips and his toes.
And your hips and your toes.
Dinos don't even have noses.
You suck. The 3-year anniversary show.
No, Brian. Dinos don't have noses.
They got snouts.
Dinos have snouts!
You're right. Snouts are like a nose.
And you know what? It's like we're literally 3/4 of the way through. This is when, and Brian, me and you said it. This is when we already hopped on the call. We were sound checking.
Oh yeah, my notes are gone. That was.
And we already wrote like we wrote down like as the show is going on, it's getting more and more boring. So we're writing less and less notes.
Yeah, I've had such good notes at the beginning, and then it just turned
first
into
hour,
nothing.
great
turned
notes.
into straight shit.
Locked in the first hour.
So I just don't understand. As far as a 3-year anniversary show goes,
horrible.
It seemed like just last week or the week before last at Grand Salami, they had the title match, right?
Yep.
That should have been the 3-year anniversary.
Right, so 3-year anniversary, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It just seemed very strange. And one thing I kept writing is that for a 3-year anniversary, they're talking a lot about Ring of Honor, which isn't a thing. Are they trying? Is the reason why? Do they really believe that with their cable numbers? See, I feel like if you took those cable numbers, what they get every week, 900,000, whatever, and you put those on like Shudder streaming service,
right?
If you had 900,000 viewers a week, 750,000 viewers a week, and plus your YouTube numbers and your merchandise sales, you could probably go to a streaming service like Shudder, like a secondary, a tertiary streaming service, and say, hey, we have a secondary project. We have a secondary company. Would you take this on? I feel like you could get some subscriptions, you know? And fuck, maybe they'll sell it to IWTV. But I don't know why they're pushing Ring of Honor so much. But, like, I think that that's one of the main reasons why this fucking show sucks.
There's so much focus on something that's, I'm sorry, all respect to Ring of Honor. It's we're past that already. The chapter closed. I think now's the time you really put it to rest. You take what you can from there and you combine it with your company. Don't make emphasis on another company on your show. You're taking away from you and your 3-year anniversary.
Right. Yeah.
That's horrible.
So much Ring of Honor on this 3-year anniversary. And they ran 15 minutes over for what? A mixed tag match? And by mixed, I mean some of the guys in the match I liked, some of the guys I hated.
Didn't even give a shit about the match.
Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho versus Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia, and maybe Daniel Bryanson out there in a way.
So was it? It was a 6-man tag.
No, it was a two-man.
It was a tag.
It was a
a
four-man
tag?
tag.
A poor man's tag.
It was Sammy Guevara versus Chris Jericho dressed like Kid Osborne except with a bigger budget versus fucking Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia.
Garcia.
And it
Listen,
sucked
man.
the nut.
We didn't even pay attention. We were talking.
Well, I mean, it looked all right, but it's like, yeah, whatever. I care? No.
They honestly should have ended that show with a title match.
Right. But they just did a
You know
title
what I'm saying?
match 2 weeks ago, so what can they even do?
Right,
This-
that Wardlow match should have been the main event.
That
They
would have been
should've.
cool. Hey, if you had, but you know what? It's so weird because usually after hold on, let me refer to my notes here. You know, usually what they do at AEW Dynamite is that they have the first segment or two, and then the first backstage or cutaway, the first like promo package is promoting whatever the Rampage match will be, right? But this time they cut right to Brian Cage versus Wardlow, and they started hyping it up, right? And I thought, oh, okay, this is going to be the Rampage match, Brian Cage versus Wardlow. But then all of a sudden, no, up next. And it's like, dude, I think I watched last week. We were at the Grand Salami. There's nothing even, making
Appealing.
this match a thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, to your point, it would have been great to see Wardlow versus Brian Cage as the main event of this 3-year anniversary show. Because, 3 years ago, the Cody Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, the TNT title, it's like sewn into the fabric, sewn into the DNA, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, they didn't build it up enough. Nobody
Right.
even knew that Brian Cage is even still around, dude. And you
Yeah.
know what? If you were going to fucking put up Brian Cage versus Wardlow, it could be a main event. You could have done it. But you know what? I hate to say this. I love my man, Prince Nana. But it should have been just Brian Cage coming back on his own like, yo, Wardlow, I'm more of a machine than you. I'm Mr. Get My Shit In. Brian Cage is going to run through Wardlow. You think you're big? I'm big. I'm Schlack with front teeth. Let's go.
Right.
And they could have done that for like a few weeks.
Yep.
I
The
agree.
build-up.
But it was just, it basically was like a Rampage match that all of a sudden was happening.
I just feel that Tony pays a lot more attention to his favorite groups. And it's obvious who that favorite group is and the people part of that group. And it shows throughout the card because there's not no direction and anything that they do. It's just like, okay, go out there, get this done. Okay, cool. Let's get to the point that really matters of the show. And it shouldn't be like that because the entire show should matter. Everybody who's coming out, their take on things, their approach towards it should matter. You know what I'm saying? You don't see it. And for a 3-year anniversary, horribly done.
Yeah, really bad 3-year
Horribly-
anniversary. And for an extra 15 minutes, really just a non-consequential, no bite, no weight to it at all. Don't give a shit, don't care.
Yeah, think about it. The very first main event for Dynamite was Chris Jericho alongside Proud and Powerful versus Kenny Omega and the Bucks. And look at the way they ended the 3rd-year anniversary.
Yeah,
That's
you
what you're
guys,
gonna
you
go
guys
back
keep
and
talking
remember?
about it. You guys keep talking about it.
Good job. Good freaking job. No direction. Jericho looked like Loverboy with the pants on. There's nothing appealing about it. I'm sorry at all. I feel like sometimes they even pay more attention to Rampage and the matches that are going on there. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, my boy watches. He says Rampage is better than Dynamite.
And it's a numbers thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, cool. Like they're focusing on the competition that they have with WWE. Not that WWE is engaging in competition, but they want to go head to head with them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, cool. Now Rampage is 2 hours on Friday. What else is 2 hours on Friday? SmackDown.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What was on Wednesdays at one point? NXT. Triple H took a step back and was like, you know what, Papa? You want Wednesdays? You enjoy Wednesdays. I'll take Tuesdays, the night after Raw, and you don't got to worry about no competition because that's the last thing I want because you're not competition. But this guy is poking a beast. You don't poke a sleeping giant. You know what I'm saying? You don't spit into the wind because what happens? You're going to get it right back to you. And he needs to stop focusing on competition and focus on the competition that he has within his company.
Turmoil.
Yeah,
Inner
bro,
turmoil.
it's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Focus on the guys that you have. You got people here who are good. Focus on the longevity of the storylines that you have within the company, not on competition on Friday nights. Don't focus on Rampage because that's the Friday show and you want to go get it taped and then get it edited so that's the better show on Friday to see. Get out of here, bro. Focus on the wrestlers that you have on your show that are good. You're shitting on them. I'm sorry.
I agree with you.
That's it. That's my take.
I got Character Production shout out. Thanks for watching. Says sad to see AEW going downhill like this. Do you guys agree?
I agree.
You think it's
100%.
going downhill?
Yeah, 100%. They cater to a certain market. If you cater to that market, you're not expanding. Nobody's gonna take you serious, and nobody's gonna want to watch you besides that market.
They're
but
like
what's
a
the
niche.
market?
They're like a niche. They're like a niche company, and they're marketing to the pro wrestling fans.
Yeah,
like
but
the
they're marketing to people who love Big Bang Theory. That you could before the episode you watch Big Bang Theory, and then after the episode you watch Young Sheldon.
Yeah, dude.
So, like,
you
is
could
that what
see.
their analytics are telling them? That people who love Big Bang Theory love AEW wrestling?
The type of fans, and I mean this in no disrespect to any of our listeners, anybody who follows us on our social media. I mean this in no disrespect. The fans that AEW grabs are the fans that gravitate, like Pat said, the Big Bang Theory, a lot of Comic-Con stuff.
Comic-Con people.
You know what I'm saying? That's that crowd, and that's what they like. And I don't want to compare, but WWE, they try and jump into different markets. Look at the shows that come on after Raw. You know what I'm saying?
That's La Femme Nikita.
La Femme Nikita,
Silk
baby.
Stockings.
Silk Stockings. Ms. and Mrs. Now they got this NASCAR show. They do stuff that they see that other people like. Why? Because they're going to be like, you know what? I like stuff like that. And look at the Dexter Lumis Miz stuff. The way they filmed it was as if it was a Ms. and Mrs. show. What does that do? That's going to drag in the 90 Day Fiancé fans. That's going to drag in the Love and Hip Hop fans. What's AEW dragging in, bro? A Brave game?
I like this question. The Braves game, that's WCW, dude. I got Character Productions. If Triple H didn't see AEW as their competition, why bother moving to a different day? You know, that is a good question. And I don't want to downplay what you're implying. You know what I mean? It's true. But I think that WWE has the relationship with the network, the freedom with the network, and they have the power and the money to say, okay, who's doing what? Oh, AEW's a thing? Oh, they're running this day? Okay, you know what? Let's move our NXT brand to the same night as them. And you know what? Yeah, maybe right then and there they thought that they were going to be able to defeat them with NXT. But I think at the end of the day, it just becomes an analytics thing. Okay, hey, we'll run against them for 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 14 weeks, 16 weeks, whatever it was. And, you know, we could take the L. We don't care because we're just going to learn so much about their viewership and their analytics.
Mm-hmm.
And we could, people who are watching them, we could target ad to and blah, blah, blah. And maybe through tapping into AEW's Big Bang Theory demographic, we'll just gain some new fans. I don't know. But the thing is, to me, it's like, when you talk about creative, both WWE, whether you're talking about led by Vince McMahon or led by Triple H, WWE is not great. AEW is not great. But the thing is that AEW could go out of business. And I don't think WWE is ever going to go out of business.
No, they're not.
That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Like, you know, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think, like you said, Pat, I think it's a whole numbers demographic thing. And WWE has a very long-standing relationship with the USA Network. They've gone away, but they were able to come back because of that relationship and what they've done with the numbers. And again, WWE's fans, their core fan base are probably in their late 20s, early 30s, which will leave them to say, you know what? They're more likely to watch the next show the very next day, opposed to waiting a day. You know what I'm saying? They're high off the heat of watching Monday Night Raw. They're going to want to watch NXT. But you know what? When they're tired and they're home at work from work on Friday, they're going to sit home instead of going out. They're gonna pop some popcorn. They're gonna sit with their 9-year-old kid and their 5-year-old daughter, and they're gonna watch Friday Night SmackDown. But you know what else that does? Like that brings me to before. You have the people who think everything is competition. You know what I'm saying? And you go and you put a show the same night, 2 hours, just like the other show. Why? What's the purpose of that? What's the purpose?
I think it was just a scouting thing, honestly.
It's still the least watched show. It's like it still gets the lowest rating, like viewership out of all the shows, even though it moved to Tuesdays.
So my reason in saying that is when we were at the Grand Salami and I stood for Rampage, the Jungle Boy and Pentagon match went almost 30 minutes. And I'm sitting there asking myself, why are they going so long? And it's so they can cut and edit certain parts of that match so they could get people to be, you know what, that was a good match. You need to make sure you watch this. And it's all on Twitter. That's what they focus on, people talking about the cool matches. And it's like, oh, wow, you know what, that happened. I got to watch that on Friday.
Yeah, but those analytics are somewhat empty. I mean, I'm sure that they're proven or whatever to, I don't know, have some value. But at the end of the day, and we see it every day on a smaller scale regarding our little venture and our little brand, it's like, yo, likes don't equate to sales.
No, they don't.
And sales don't equate to consistent commitment.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, and can you blame your fans? It's like, same thing we're talking about with Outlaw. It's like, yo, we're running the same show every single month. What's the deal? You know, like, so, yo, fucking Grand Salami was down like 8,000 people, 5,000 people year to year. So, you know, especially this niche following, the center cannot hold, dude. And you know what? They had Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes was doing those fucking TBS fucking reality shows. Bert Kreischer, Snoop Dogg, Rosario Dawson.
Did that get scrapped because he left?
Yo, but either way, even if that was taking Bert Kreischer fucking fans and directing them towards AEW, you think that a Bert Kreischer fan is going to watch fucking Hangman Page come out in butterfly pants and complain about not being friends with somebody anymore and stay tuned? I don't know. Yo, let's talk about, what's up, Jedi Joe? Good to see you. Love you. Live for you. Jedi Joe, always the man. Yo, show your papers, everybody. We wrote notes. Tonight we wrote notes. We wrote the notes on AEW Dynamite. And next week, same Bullies time, same Bullies channel. We're going to be back. Baby. And we're trying, Joe, we're trying to give away these cards. We're trying to give these LA fights.
We're just like trying to give it away.
We're just dying and trying.
Next week I'm going to have some action figures up, some WWE Elites, not basic, Elite, ELITE.
Brian, could you walk us through GCW in Japan before we call it a night?
Can I just tell you my favorite matches from the shows?
Yes,
do that,
just
baby.
Tell us.
All right. Well, the match from the first night had to have been John Wayne Murdoch and Takeda. Insane. Did you just see the ovation that he got?
I just saw the needle photo.
Ugh. Takeda's insane because the night after that he wrestled fucking Schlack in another insane match. So I just don't know how the man Takeda he stole both nights for me.
More than Jun Kasai and more than FEA.
I mean, I love that match too, but Takeda was just an absolute madman.
Yo, I love deathmatch wrestling, man. I just love deathmatch wrestling.
Dude, it's my favorite shit.
Yeah, I love it. I'm talking about it right now. I just got like so excited. I just started smiling.
I love glass. I love blood, and there was just so much of it.
So what was that picture with Janela with like that skewered through his mouth?
Deathmatch Joey's back, but that match didn't air yet. That didn't happen. I think that's one of the Freedom shows. It's not a GCW. That wasn't a GCW show.
So that's just him touring the area.
It was just a Japanese show. But you know what I noticed for the Japanese shows? That there's no cheering. It's all clapping.
They treat it like theater. You know, they appreciate they want to hear everything. You know what I'm saying? They want to hear the chops. They want to hear everything. They want to take it in, feel it.
Yeah, but that kind of mindset should kind of be translated into American wrestling too, because we were just talking about these AEW crowds. I feel like
it's
an
half the
AEW
fun
crowd
is
sit on
yelling.
their hands and like then clap. Yeah, well, you yell when you're an asshole like us.
Yeah.
But if you're like a
Yeah, but
real
that's half the
devout
fun.
supporter, you want to like support the guys. You're not going to boo them. You're just going to wait to clap.
So do you think the American guys go to these Japanese shows and like scream, and the Japanese guys like look at them like they're assholes?
I don't. Do
I
you
think
think
it's
Americans go out
completely.
there to watch wrestling?
There's got to be an occasional once or twice where there's like traveling people
Dude, I want
that
to go to Japan so bad. I just don't want to go to Japan to watch GCW.
You want to go to like see like the BJW
Yeah.
freedoms.
Yeah, or maybe like fuck wrestling altogether. Maybe I'll just go watch some sumo wrestling.
That'd be fun.
All right, new segment time before we leave.
Beep, 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 doo.
Boop, 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 boop. New segment time. And thank you guys for joining us. Jedi Joe. I got character Bren. See you guys in here. Logan Stein. What's up? Thank you so much for watching. We're going to be back next Wednesday for another post AEW papers. We got papers, and we're going to write notes for next week. But so I wrote this down. I thought of this because there's a fantasy football podcast that I listen to. It's called Believe It or Not. Okay? So the way it's going to work is that we all come up with a believe it or not, and then the other two of us comment if we would believe it or not. So hold on, let me find mine.
The next one. There you go.
No, it's not on any of these. Oh, wait, hold on. All right, ready? I got mine.
Talk to me.
Believe it or not, the AEW Casino Battle Royal chip is lamer than the WWE 24/7 title.
I agree. He's walking around with a supermarket sweep prop.
Just a huge chip. He's just walking around with a huge chip. Doesn't even have like a handle. He just hugs it.
But I feel like the chip at least is like a little cool. I feel like the 24-hour championship is just a joke.
No,
It's a
you know what?
strap,
It should have
though.
been a regular size chip, and he could have flipped it like Two-Face.
That's kind of like
Word.
a quarter, like just like a quarter,
Yeah, that would have been cool. He could have kept flipping it.
like a yeah.
Yeah. The 24/7 title, sure. It's got a whole history, many years of terrible, cringy segments behind it. So, in essence, theoretically, 24/7's the worst. But I'm just saying, the way that they set up the chip and the way he's just holding it, hugging it, and then also arbitrarily, just last week, they decided that it could now be cashed in.
Yeah, dude.
And I just think that that's super lame.
I agree with you in the sense where it is as lame as the 24/7 title.
All right. I thank you for both agreeing with me. Brian, take it away. Believe it or not.
Okay, believe it or not, CM Punk will return and take the belt from whoever has it.
Wow.
Wow. Now, do you say that because you think what's been going on with him is a work? Or do you just say that because you think that it wasn't a work, it all really happened, and they're going to work it out and bring him back?
Yeah, I think that it could have very well not have been a work, but I don't think the man is fired, and I think he will be back. I mean, as far as we are known to what's happening, he's not fired. It's just like speculation. So I don't think he's fired. I think he's going to come back and he's going to win the belt once again, 4-time.
Wow.
He'll be the second 3-time champion.
Wow. You know what, Brian? I am going to agree with you on that.
You believe it?
And I say that because I feel like he's not finished. He didn't lose his belt. And I do feel when he comes back, he's going to hijack his belt with someone. And I think that person may be Serena Deeb. He has history with her. They're known for putting people together who have history. So maybe Serena Deeb and CM Punk may get back together, and he'll steal back his title.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So, yes, Brian, I agree with you.
You know what?
Man.
I'm actually going to say that I
baby.
don't believe that. I'm actually going to go with not. I think that CM Punk is done, dude. I think that they're negotiating a buyout. I think that, I think that it's a real situation. I think it's a fluid situation. And I think that CM Punk, he might say, oh, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Whatever. You don't want me, I'm gone. But there's no way that CM Punk wants to go out like this. So maybe CM Punk will say the right things and put his fucking hat in his hand and eat shit salad to come back and actually end his career on his own terms. But
think
either
that's what's gonna
way,
happen.
he's the most badass dude ever. Jedi Joe wants to know where the card's at. Brian, could you show the cards one more time?
He wants to see if they're open.
They're open, and there's no chase card. It is 1 through 30. There's 30 cards in here. My bell just rang. I have to go answer it.
The cards are in there. It is Spring Break 6. That's GCW's Joey Janela Spring Break 6 cards. There's not a chase, but it's 1 through 30. And your super chat question can get you these cards.
Just $1.
So if you go and put a question in there, you get 30 cards, papito.
Sean, what's your believe it or not?
Believe it or not, there will be no white rabbit on Saturday.
Believe it or not, there will be no White Rabbit on Saturday. Give me the quick update. I haven't really been following the White Rabbit saga. Will you tell me what? There's like a new date?
Yeah, so they're saying for this Saturday, which is Extreme Rules in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They keep giving these QR codes. I'm over the QR codes. Get to the point already. I think they're going to drag it out. We may see it Monday in Brooklyn because we know that WWE loves to make history in New York City. So it could quite possibly happen in Brooklyn, but I do not think it's going to happen at Extreme Rules. Brian, what do you think?
The White Rabbit. And Sean, I'm sorry, before we move on, you're convinced it's Bray Wyatt.
That I'm convinced is Bray?
Yeah.
I'm convinced it's Bray, but Brian also shared with me that he thinks it's Joe Gacy.
Huh.
Well, I don't know if Joe Gacy. It is Joe Gacy as much as he will be involved in what's happening.
Has Joe Gacy been around NXT? Has he still been doing things episodically at NXT?
Yeah, he's doing his thing up there.
Because if it needs to be Joe Gacy, then he needs to have lost and been away for a minute, in my opinion.
But Gacy is involved in the QR code madness.
How do you know that?
Well, because very smart, intelligent people go and look at these things like it's Dark Souls, and they pick apart these things, dude, there's like a source code in the thing, and it came to be the name Gacy.
Let me tell you something.
The source code. They figured out the code.
As a Souls player, how dare you compare analytic lore run Dark Souls YouTubers to White Rabbit X-Files chasers?
It's the same thing.
No, it's not the same
it's
thing.
It's very similar to me. It's very similar to me how these people have deciphered the codes and by just watching it. It's very that doesn't remind you of Dark Souls at all.
No, they're stupid and I hate them. Dark Souls is forever. Speaking of Dark Souls, you've completed every single Dark Souls game. You have completed every single Elden Ring game and every single Bloodborne game, and you have just started your Sekiro journey.
It's insane.
Can you tell me a little bit about your Sekiro journey?
It might be my favorite one. Next to Elden Ring.
You're a gaming champion, dude.
Dude, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it.
It's tough.
You can do it.
Dude, I haven't even gotten to the first boss yet.
Brian, what's the minimum donation for those cards? Would you take 99 cents for those cards?
At least $1.
At least $1.
Oh, it's got to be at least $1. Sorry, Joe. Your 99 cents just isn't going to cut it.
99 cents is a penny short.
Yeah, you're a penny short. And guess what? You can't just donate a penny. You got to do a full $1 now. One donation per customer, So I know you just did 99 cents, but now if you want the cards, you got to do a full $1. Which means that brings your grand total up to $1.99. So if you want to pay $2 for the cards, which, by the way, isn't even the shipping, I fucking recommend you drop another goddamn $1.
You're getting them for free, dude. You're not even paying shipping.
Jeffrey
on that Sekiro note, I think I'm going to call it because I'm a sleepy boy.
Nice. Tell me about Sekiro. What boss are you up to?
I'm up to the drunkard.
Oh,
it's a mini boss. It's a mini boss.
Did you fight the butterfly woman in the fiery room?
No, I haven't gotten to any main boss with a line on the bottom. It's only been top left screen
with the 2 dots.
Oh.
Yeah. Very difficult, but I fucking love it and it looks amazing. So I just can't stop it.
Hey, great show, everybody.
We did it.
You know what? And we owe it all to the notes.
Just because of the notes. Should we all throw our notes up simultaneously?
Let's throw them up. Ready?
3, 2, 1.
AEW reviews. Have you ever seen 3 guys with 3 to 4 pages each? That's like at least 12 pages, at most 13. So
we care about our craft here at the Boulevard Bullies.
We care
We
a lot.
want you to experience what we experience, the utmost fun and pleasure in doing what we do.
Can you guys see my cat?
Yeah, we've
He's
been
so
seeing
tired.
the cat the whole time. Let's show our shirts. Sean,
This is a homage to Man Bun Jesus right here because I know he loves the Grateful Dead.
what's that?
Hey.
Lana Shore.
Lorna Shore, yeah, good, great deathcore black metal death metal
Great
band.
job. And Sean has the George Costanza flannel.
Hole in one, baby. Hole in
Fleece.
one.
So this was a setup. I'm wearing Tournament of Death 2, okay?
With New Jack on it.
So now next week, well, I was going to say next week there's going to be a huge announcement. I'm going to do the huge announcement right now. Starting next week. There's a fly around here. There's a fly flying around.
At least it's not a bird.
Yo,
This is
dude,
not a
that's what I'm
bird.
saying. I think the fly got in with the bird.
Maybe you have a baby bird in there.
Oh my god, dude! Now I'm gonna have to spray. I was spraying. I sprayed about the bird. All right, huge announcement, massive announcement. Okay, and Brian, I know you've been asking me a lot about this. Wow! Wow!
Super chat?
I got Character Productions coming in at the end, dethroning Jedi Joe's 99-cent super chat.
So what does he get? Does he get the LA Fight shirt or the cards?
I got Character $2. Just crushed Joe $2. So guess what? You're getting. He said, "Give me those cards."
Does he want the shirt too? Because I'll just give him the shirt because I want to get rid of it.
You got the shirt too, Papa.
Wow, Jedi Joe coming in with $1.99.
Oh shit! It's a
Yeah,
battle.
Joe.
Oh,
It's a battle for
no.
the cards, dude.
Well, now, but dude, you can't. You got to go 201. Actually. All right, guess what? I'm gonna make the determining factor here. The stream is ending. I got Character Productions. Guess what? You get the cards sent in the mail to you. Free shipping. All you got to do is email your information to us. Boulevard Bullies, tweet it to us. Direct message, some form of direct message. And guess what, Joe? Man, oh man. You know, it really sucks to be you because you donated the 99 cents. Then you donated the $1.99, but you still fell short of getting the cards.
A penny late and a minute short.
A penny late, 2 pennies late 2 times, and 2 minutes short. Brian, show him the LA Fights shirt, please.
It's a shirt you can wear to job
You
interviews
can
and
wear
weddings.
this shirt to a job interview. You can
Or
wear
a
this
date.
shirt to
People
Or
love
they-
pink.
People
you
love
learned
pink.
that tonight.
you know, maybe some black chino pants, white belt,
Brown shoes.
brown
white
shoes,
Vans.
you know? Jedi Joe, you got nice hair, nicely coiffed hair, you know? Jedi Joe says you were scammed again. Jedi Joe, you were not ever scammed. You won the Royal Rumble. You thought you were scammed because you got Edge, then Edge won. So this officially only counts as the first time you were scammed. And wow.
Now they going off right now?
Wow, Jedi Joe getting crushed again.
That's a shame.
I got Character Productions coming in with another $2 at the end. Once again, 1 cent more than Jedi Joe's $1.99. So I got Character Productions going home with the cards
And the shirt.
and the shirt.
Swept it up.
Joe, you got to step it up, Papa. Playing no games out here.
Wow, Joe. We don't make the rules, Joe. We do not make the rules.
We just break them.
Yo, listen, real quick.
Yeah.
This weekend, I'll be in AC. So if anybody out there watching, you see your boy out there, come say hi. A bully shows love. We're not mean. We're not angry. I give hugs. I embrace. I fist. I sweet. I
Yeah.
pound. I shake.
Do
I
you
don't
scissor?
scissor.
You don't. You do not.
I don't scissor.
You gotta
everybody,
fix
if
that.
you
You gotta
see
fix
us
that.
out, go say hello to Sean. Don't fucking come up to me. All right?
Don't come up to Pat.
And that's it. That's all we got. Can you guys think of
That's it.
anything else? Next week, same Bullies time, same Bullies channel. Wednesday, 10 o'clock. Review. We're going to have our papers. We're going to have
We'll
our
have
notes. We're going to have 2 more giveaways.
We're gonna have some WWE elites, maybe some AEW unmatched furies because who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll break some cards. I got a brand new box here. Maybe we could break this open. Who knows?
Oh,
Just tune
what do
in.
you call it when you break a box open?
Box
Unboxing,
opening.
Whatever.
unboxing, uncracking. Who knows? Who cares?
Yo, I got character. Message us your info. Message us your address. You are you're a stream sniper.
You're appreciated.
And you're appreciated. Now I have to sit through Dynamite. This is the worst day of my life. Joe, we just ran through Dynamite. Did you see these notes, dude? You're good, dude.
Papito.
My notes are all over the floor.
Anyway.
Boulevard
See you guys
Bullies
next
out.
week. A lot of great things happening. A lot of great times. Oh, my special announcement. I forgot. Yo, this time next week, starting at 10 o'clock on Wednesday next week, this shirt and the first Legends of Death shirt and the third Legends of Death shirt, all 3 shirts will be for sale. Are we doing a 4th shirt? Nah.
It was a trilogy, bro.
It was a trilogy. But now, if you missed it, especially this one, because, this is the year that New Jack died, and before he died, as his dying wish, he was screaming at us to take him off the shirt. But guess what?
It's the truth.
You're on the shirt. And you're for sale this month. So all 3 shirts, LOD1, Mick Foley as Freddy Krueger, Terry Funk as Leatherface, Onita as Mike Myers,
George the Animal
Hayabusa
Steel
as Jason. Then you got New Jack as Candyman. You got Jun Kasai as Pennywise. You got Masada as Hannibal Lecter. Then you got Sabu as Ghostface. Then as 3, you have fucking Mr. Spaulding and okay, we're done. I can see that you need to go, Brian.
I'm trying to multitask.
Goodbye. Hey, on behalf of Ringside Sean and Brian the Merch Lord, send us your address if you want anything. We'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. On behalf of them, this is PK from the Blvd Bullies. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.